Let's go. Everyone debate. FBA, everybody want to say something. Don't nobody want to do nothing. Hold on, y'all. Let me give me a backdrop up. We're going to do this one right here. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I knew motherfuckers was jealous of me. Let me send this shit out, actually. They finna have to see this one. I'm not finna play with y'all on this. Hold on, I'm sending it to 15 more motherfuckers. Y'all stay here for this one, y'all. I knew it. I knew they was ducking me, y'all. Hold on. Definitely gotta send it to Carolina. Definitely gotta send it to sis. Y'all come in here for this shit. I'm gonna bring everybody from them lives that they in too. Y'all go tell everybody to pull up real quick. We could definitely talk about it. Unlike these echo chambers, we can talk about it. Let's pull up. Hold on, let me get the game here. Actually, that's my What's up? Oh, perfect person. Come up. This is it, Lakota. I didn't ever know this is what was going on for real. Hold on. Yeah, come on. So let's just explain what's happening. They talking about I'm not supposed to let Carolina talk about cosmogonies. Let's just say cosmogonies for the sake of not being weird and biased. You have, and this is what I said when I came on this app, they let me know. They was like, it's people who like to debunk shit, but they pro-black and they anti-everybody else. That is not me. You can't get mad at me that I'm not prejudiced or racist to white people, to native, to fucking Australians, to Middle Easterners. You can't get mad at me because I can simultaneously be pro-black but still fuck with other ethnic groups and racial groups. Right? If they knowledgeable about the information, if they informed, it's weird to be gatekeeping anything based off the color of their skin. Y'all, it's just like the FBA. You realize this shit? Y'all, these people are just like the FBA. Hold on, y'all got to come up here and be a witness. I need a testimony for this shit. These people is weird and really what they doing. And it's funny because I done did this with the pretenders before. I done did this with the, and now with these niggas. Niggas be really mad about Carolina. Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Y'all like talk about all this shit. When I remember when I first came across Carolina, and y'all talking about numbers and shit. Nobody cares about that shit. Cause motherfuckers fuck with me. I ain't got no numbers. Don't do no numbers. First time I seen Carolina, I remember she had her camera on. She was in there. She was popping that shit. And I was like, oh, bro. It's just like I said with KP. I'm impressed with intellect, with information. People who can retain information and can pop that shit and convey it to the people. So I get called. I pull up on a live. And Lil Shaka called me a coon for Carolina talking on cosmogonies. First off, fuck your African spiritual traditions. I done said that many a times. Second off, fuck you. See, this nigga's is. Let me just hold on. Let me Black. You might not want to be up here. I don't want you to act like you co-sign none of this shit I'm finna say.
No, but you my man. Don't worry about that.
I was just finna say with Lil Shaka. The fuck whatchamacallit, I can't think of the nigga name. The Muhammad nigga. What's the Muhammad nigga? Nigga said, this is all I did. When niggas tried to get mad at me, this is all I did. And I knew, bro, it's a method to my madness. None of these niggas want to play chess with me. I'm literally 7 moves ahead. So I did what I did for a reason. When I made the video, I literally did not say shit in that video so niggas can crash out on their own when they seen the information. I didn't say shit in the video. I posted a clip of the nigga saying that he was an Israelite. All misinformation must cease. Niggas trying to hold on to bits and people. I said bits and pieces and then people because I want to say people too because niggas is really trying to hold on to people. Fuck these niggas. I'm not saying fuck them and fuck what they did. I'm saying the information that they put out, it was wrong. All you got to do is omit that. If they did something beneficial, then you could compartmentalize. The ideology was flawed. The way they united, we could take notes of that. We could take notes in how Farrakhan, Elijah, how they got the people together, how they got them off the street. We can look at that. But when it comes to the words, the information, the doctrine, The misinformation. We got to correct that. That's the only way to move forward and progress. Niggas is listen. Did you see what just happened, bro?
Nah. I went to that crazy man, that y'all Jews shit, but
Okay, so you know, I've been telling them I'm gonna start going to these other people live so I can pop out so they can know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they can know I'm out here. So I go to a live. I'm thinking it's a friendly live. They as soon as I go in there, a little shocker say, "Call me a coon." So I already know. Like I already know. What I had planned on doing was getting Lil Shaka in a corner and gaming him up. He's a radical. I'm not a radical. He's a revolutionary. I'm not a revolutionary. Y'all got to know that. Why do I say this? Like I say, everything I say got a method to it. I'm not finna say these stupid ass terms. I'm not a dumb nigga. I know what comes with these terms. This is me, the etymologist, the definition nigga, the look it up nigga. I'm not finna say them words and apply them to myself. Even if ideologically I may say something that may be along them, I'm not finna say that shit. It's not wise to. I want to say nothing. I told him, I said, niggas gonna get you rounded up. But ultimately, like the information is what I'm focused on. And I wanted to say something about this when Evie had said something about Dean being a debate bro. She said, I don't like him. He's a debate bro. So the fuck what? So this is what happens with that is like, we want to look at Dean and we want to put Dean in the position that we want to put him in. He could do what the fuck he want to do. Parker can do what the fuck we want to do. We don't got to put him in a situation that he don't got to be put in. You don't got to make me, if I say I want to do this, you don't got to put me in no other fucking ministry. I told my mama all I wanted to do was drill team. I don't want to be in no damn choir. I don't want to be an usher. Don't put me in that. Why y'all want to put people in ideologies and perspectives y'all want them to have? If this is my intellectual pursuit, this is mine. You don't dictate my ministry or nobody else's. If you feel that way, you know I'll be really feeling flattered because that means y'all want me to do something else. But y'all don't understand my method. From everything, from crashing out to these pseudo, but look, first thing first is education. Niggas is talking about geopolitics. Nigga, you skipping steps. You skipping steps. How we gonna get to geopolitics? Niggas ain't united as one. That's the first step to Pan-Africanism. It's not the fucking, I don't know, bro. Y'all, I don't know if y'all seen what happened, but pretty much Lil Shaka called me a coon for he said Carolina spoke on African spiritual traditions. So we was just in a live just yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And when we were speaking on them, it's the same thing. Listen, I understand you have your creation stories, your mythologies, you respect them as a part of your culture, you revere them, it's just not a part of science. It's the same shit. She's not gonna go, and me neither. If anybody, it's gonna be me, but me neither. I'm not going into disrespecting the Vodun and Ifa. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it's not real. Being that it's not real, it can't be practical, it can't be productive. People want to hold on to these things and crash out. Bro, they literally crashed out on me, bro.
Damn, you talk. Damn.
Bro, literally crashed out. What I mean by crash out, literally, I come up on there. I said y'all, and the host got mad. When I say y'all, this
today.
This was just now. When I say y'all, Lil Shaka. When I say y'all, I forget the lady live because she talking about I follow. She kept on saying I follow. Man, I follow 1,000 people. That don't mean I revere their scholarship. Some pseudos I follow just to keep up with them. She kept on saying you follow me like that substantiates anything. But yeah, pretty much they mad because
you talking about my new Africans. That's what you talking about, my new Africans.
I don't even know. But they got me fucked up. They talking about all you do is debunk pretendians, but you never been to my live. And that's not all I do. That's by a long shot. But you don't watch my lives though. Like make it make sense. But that's why I've been having this energy because I've been having a feeling. I've been having some feeling. There's people who got some contention with me, but they don't want to say nothing. Say the shit because I put it out there. Then I say, let's debate. Oh, there's nothing to debate. You sound like a pretendian. If we had, and I've told y'all this yesterday, I looked it up. It said this is the best way to talk out our contending views. If I feel like this is the information that I gathered and this is the truth from what I got, and you feel like it's something else, let's bring it to a head. Even if it comes to what we talk about now as far as like a methodological approach. How you gonna tell me what the fuck I'm doing and I'm educating all the dumb shit? And I'm not just getting my roll out on these niggas. That's why even with like Black can attest to this. That's why I'm not just putting my hands on these people's neck and nothing like that. I'm up here coaxing these people to the truth. We giving them evidence. We're not up on here trying to it's not on no debate, bro, get my rocks off. No, this is for educational purposes. And they want. I don't know. They want us to be talking about something else. Listen, it's so many. I'm pretty sure it's like 100,000 lives right now. Why you not dictating how they run their lives? But you on me. But I'm a coon for somebody speaking on.
It's like so much going. Because I ain't really been up on panels like this, or even really just I be in the hallway a little bit here and there. But it's like a whole lot of shit going on in these TikTok streets, man. It's crazy, bro. Let's stay with it though. You on a mission. Your lives be popping. So somebody need to really come in and get the gist of what your live is. I suggest they come over here and see how it's being ran.
And how you gonna do that? How you gonna say what my live is about and then say you never been to my live? But you literally went on a rant while everybody went on Showtime. Whoever this lady is, she's just another one of them crash out, boisterous cuss out girls.
You talking about Key? Is this who you talking
Key,
about?
yeah, that is her. I think that is a Key.
Damn, you don't went to the streets, man.
See, I don't be knowing where I'm at, but like I said, I'm finna, because
Yeah.
like staying here, they scared to come to me. I done already understood that they scared to come to me, so I'm finna come to them. And I'm mad y'all missed that Yazoo Judah. I just got Yazoo Judah clip real good.
That's why I was trying to get you back over there because he was so flustered with you. Whatever you did to him, I came late. Whatever you did to him, man, you got him.
Bruh, I did. But yeah, it's like I say, bro, I know what I'm doing. Let's play chess. Just, as a metaphor to show you, bro, I'm literally thinking moves ahead.
Yeah. I understand what your lives is doing because we do got a strong identity crisis in the community. So I appreciate what you do because we can't even talk about no politics or revolutionary type stuff when niggas don't even want to be African.
Bruh, this is what I do, and I was just in a pseudo live. Oh no, that's what I told y'all. You do what I do. I said I don't. He said, do you have a congregation? I said I don't call it no congregation. I got peers and mutuals, and I got people that follow my shit. But if you follow me, I done told this plenty of time. Even when Tawik was up here, I said I push autonomy. I push people being their own critical thinker. Everybody can say on here they done heard me say something along them lines. I'm not here. Niggas not gonna follow me. I don't want to be followed. If that was the case, I'd be doing all the antics. I have some fucking 300 music in the background right now. I do my shit so motherfuckers to be their own critical thinker. Niggas want you to be a leader and want you to be some type of figure. This not what you even may want. I don't want to do that shit. I don't get to say what motherfuckers got to do. Then you definitely don't get to, like, this is what it is. Low key, some of the pro black people are low key racist. And they don't want Carolina and Sir Loud. They call them Carolina White. I don't give a damn. Carolina, love her down. However you feel about it, I don't give a damn. Why do you feel a way about it? Address me and information. Every time somebody come to me with some beef, they always bring that lady name up. Talk to her. She would definitely slice you up. Coming to me with this shit is weird. But they've been having beef with me, and I have been sensitive. I've been sensitive because the last time.
I mean, I don't like that. What's up with Khalil Muhammad?
Khalil Muhammad, this is what I just mentioned this. Khalil Muhammad has a post, and I clipped it. It's on my old live, so it's gone now. And I literally just clipped just nothing to him. I didn't say nothing about it, but everybody know how I am. I just clipped him saying, "We are the real Israelites." And that's what he said. The whole little thing is probably like a 30-second. Yeah, that right there. And yeah, I did jug. Yeah, I jug because he had his face in the profile. Just so you need to, yeah, I did do it. It's a method to it. But look what people do. I've done that to a lot of people. I even did it with Shaka. Y'all don't even know he was behind the scenes. Guess what Shaka did? I'm right there with you, bro. I did it with a lot of people. I'm right there with you, bro. A lot of people can't do. A lot of people can't fully deconstruct. Comment, she crashed out. Oh no, Dr. said he did heal people. No, he didn't. Be quiet. Get out. We fall out. I don't give a damn. I'm not in there. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm technically not in here to make friends, but have I made friends? Have I made peers, mutuals? Yes. I respect y'all minds. That's what I fuck with. I like that. So I like them qualities in them peoples. But all the other shit, the numbers, the views, the clout, I'm not that type of person. Talking about all you can do is have a pretending live. If that was what I did, why you on my knots? What y'all think about this? I need to know. Carlos, you was there. Carlos.
I mean, I just like to say everybody got their own niche when it comes down to this. I don't think nobody should be, especially if we are the ones that are really fighting the misinformation. Keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because now, we've seen the pretendians with their sex cult and all of this stuff. We've seen the Hebrews going through we see everybody on the pseudo side, going through all of this, jabbing at each other and going back and forth with each other, I just rather keep it to the information. I'm like Jav. I done got to a point, although I might crash out here and there now, but I done got to a point where I'm tired of this shit. I want, just like y'all said, get past that. Let's educate, and then we can move on to the next thing. But if there are other people that's already, in the revolutionary stage, go ahead. Let us take care of what we got to take care of down there, because that's what I'm about. I'm like you. I'm not here to be a revolutionary. I'm old now. I ain't got the fire like I used to have it. I just want to make sure that we fighting against the misinformation, whether it be, you already talked, Don Dada, about holding the people who have contributed to this miseducation of our people for so long with the misinformation. So although we don't throw them out, I wouldn't throw Khalid Muhammad out the window with the bathwater. But yeah, let's go back over some of the shit that he done put out here, and now it's mixed in with this jumbo of bullshit that all of these pretending and all of these other fake Moors and whatever are talking about. So yeah, we need to go through the list. If we're gonna talk about Ivan Van Sertima, we should be able to talk about Khalid Muhammad. If we're gonna talk about any of these other people, we should be able to talk about Farrakhan. And it is what it is. Again, we're not throwing away everything that they've done, but the information is one of the reasons why we are in the position that we're in, and I'm with you 1,000% on that. So I'm not,
by their logic, this is what they saying. By their logic, Israelite person, like, how I get on talking about the Israelites. So the Israelite people, I can't debunk that shit because I'm not one of them. Black people, we got to understand. I said this in a live. We ain't shit. We just like every fucking body else. We got this in our inferiority complex. We try to overcompensate by acting like we just can't be talked about. Like can't nobody say nothing about us, do nothing about us, talk about our culture. When in honesty, if we're gonna keep it a whole bean pie, we wouldn't know about a lot of these spiritual systems and ideologies if it wasn't for white. That's what he's talking about. He wanted to debate. We debate that out, chop that shit up so fast. How the fuck you think you know about all this shit? How the fuck do you think niggas just automatically know it? It's not from our African descendants. We ain't gonna know everything like that. These people documented down, wrote it, translated that shit. The white tea people, not niggas. So you wouldn't even have this shit, your American English speaking ass, if it wasn't for these European people. But that's what I'm saying. And then they act like this. Then they act like there's only one West African spiritual tradition. How many of them is it? Look that up. Look that up and then talk back to me when I'm debunking Voodoo and Ifa. Because we're an amalgamation of hundreds. You think hundreds of tribes of people practice one spiritual system? I think not. But it don't even matter. It's obliterated from us culturally anyway, so it's to be easy for us to disconnect from it. But it's not. If you want to carry on the Christian withdrawals and you want to bounce from Christianity to Islam to Nawabianism and then to West African spiritual traditions, I know the patterns. I know how it go. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you don't want to talk to me about it. That's why I say let's have a conversation about it, because I don't got to crash out. I don't got to cuss. I don't got to use one cuss word, profanity, or nothing. I go information for information. And that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about our methods, then why we first have to talk about our end game? I got an end game. What the fuck is yours? Realistically, what the fuck is yours? I got a whole end game. I got the whole shit. I got the whole thing wrote down. I done read it before. I read this shit. I got a whole
Nah, keep
program
it to
for
yourself. Keep
it.
your moves to yourself.
You say who?
I said, nah, keep your moves to yourself. Your end game.
Don, you're misrepresenting what happened. Please come up. Because I know I didn't get to speak. I know I can tell you exactly what happened. I came in, I got called a coon. I came in and said probably like 2 sentences and got muted, and I didn't get to say nothing else.
So
Yeah, you're
I feel like
misrepresenting what happened.
No, I was misrepresenting there the whole time.
So let's lay the groundwork, right?
And I never got to represent myself.
Let's lay the groundwork, right? Did you post a video talking about ATR?
I don't even know what he's talking about. He could have at least pulled the video up he was talking about. I post 10 videos a day.
Okay. So what was mentioned, and you affirmed on the other live, is that there's a video about ATR, and then Carolina, who's not of African descent, calling it pseudo, and you affirming that. Shaka said, hey, maybe a person that is not of African descent shouldn't be speaking on ATR rather than just posting it as pseudo. Because at the end of the day, it's still culturally significant to those African countries.
So how did I misrepresent? I literally said the same thing.
You said it was
Everybody knows that
pseudo.
that's what happened because
You
I literally
said
explained it to him.
you said that ATR was pseudo because we wouldn't do that to Native people because that's their religion. Those are their practices. So
I've
why
done it
would
to
you
Native
not?
people. It's pseudo is pseudo. What do you mean?
So there is pseudo, as in, oh, those practices are not of the actual practices, right? And then
Hmm.
there's just those cultures. You can't paint everything as pseudo when those
Yes,
are.
I can, because pseudo means false. It means if you say telling me your creation story and I say, yeah, that's false. That's not how things happen. That's fake. I can say that.
So if
This is
you're,
what happened. This is what happened. See, I've been spamming pseudo and turn like low key, like did it to what like the FBAs have done and turned into like a derogatory term. But and honestly, it comes from obviously pseudoscience, and pseudo means fake science. So when I'm saying something is pseudo, I'm saying it's fake. I don't know what people are correlating it with, but that's what I'm saying.
so would you dub Native American culture and their traditions as pseudo as well?
Now, I would say the creation story is pseudo.
Their creation story is pseudo. Okay, and this is what even
And
in
they
Native
can't say nothing.
lives.
And then what they gonna say if I say that? They gonna say you can't speak on it. And I'm gonna say
Yeah,
yes, I can.
you can because hey, you can use science
So why
all
can't
day, right?
Carolina? So why can't Carolina speak on something if she knows like regarding history, regarding actual science, something not like being based in science, and that's actually pseudo. That's not. And I'm not even saying how she said it. However, she said it. We already know she's gonna be respectful when there's ever talk about coach. If this even happened, because I don't know what he's referencing. Then yeah, I mean, come on, bro. Like at the end of the day,
No,
he's just pro black. He's anti-white. He's racist. I had another one of my
no.
Native American. I'm telling you, I had another one of my Native American. I can show you the comment where he just blocked him just for speaking. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't even say nothing. I just let him get away with it because he was a mod over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Because
I intended. Go ahead.
because the whole purpose is these are black issues, right? And
No, they're
speaking
not.
on black
No,
issues,
they're
or
not black
even
issues.
even if you're speaking on,
It's not a
hey,
black
we're
issue
actually
though.
we're not of African descent, we're Indian. Like, actually, no, we're gonna come back to being
No.
black and being African. We can have these discussions without having a non-black or non-African people speak on African things. You know what I mean? Because I think you're at this point you're conflating, hey, the study of genetics and science and history to, hey, there are studies of different people's cultures and their traditions. That's a whole different study.
Europeans practice this culture or version of this culture.
So there's always derivatives of everything. What does that have to do with,
So
hey,
I'm not
people
conflating.
speaking?
So I'm not conflating. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm saying
conflating.
you're conflating. Okay, I don't think you heard me. You're conflating, hey, this is a study of genetics, this is a study of genealogy, things like that, versus study of culture, study of how society, sociology, things like that. And you're conflating the two, saying, hey,
I think you're conflating this spiritual system with culture altogether. And I'm
it's
specifying, and I'm literally specifying. You tried to do it earlier when you did it with the Native Americans, and I specified then. No, I'm talking about their creation story. I'm not saying wholeheartedly their culture. Why would I say a culture is pseudo?
because you,
Their creation story, which is a part of their culture, is pseudo. And this is going to be in all the creation stories.
and
They're going to be
that's why I
pseudo.
asked you, hey, would
And
you
and
say
anybody
this?
can speak on that.
And
That's not
no,
being involved in somebody's culture. And
it's
then
diminishing that
that's really
person's
on some
tradition.
and that's really on some FBA shit like gatekeeping and shit. You can't gatekeep nothing. All this is public information. If I have a discussion
You
with
can
somebody
learn
who
about it,
already,
but speaking on it's different.
but if they speaking on it, they already got access to it, so they can speak on
Uh,
it. You like
access to it.
how am I gonna try to stop a fucking Scandinavian lady from wearing cornrows? This is what y'all are doing, the equivalent of. I promise you.
Wearing telling
I
a
just listen.
Scandinavian woman wearing
I was
cornrows
just
is
over there
very
debunking.
different. It's very different from a Scandinavian woman saying, "Oh, slavery wasn't that bad."
No, I'm not saying that. That wasn't
That's
valid.
what we're talking about right now.
That wasn't, yeah, but that wasn't, no. So
We're
okay,
talking
so
about
that would get into context, and she didn't say that. So that was going into the words here. He just specified that she said something. She can't talk on it. Period. She can.
she has the physical ability to do so, but it wouldn't be right. And allowing a
It would be
platform,
right. So
no.
just yesterday. So that's telling me that can't nobody debunk the Aboriginals' creation story but the Aboriginals. I can't tell them. Hey,
And
yeah,
the
that's
thing is, though, it's not something to debunk when it's their culture. Like, again, it's
it
like,
is.
oh,
If
this
they're
is
no,
this.
listen, you're conflating the
It
culture. Listen, if somebody
no.
says this, check this out. If somebody says that their creation story is how things actually happened, now they're bringing their beliefs into reality. Now they have entered my realm. Right? They're not saying, "Oh,
Mm.
this is what my culture believes." That's what we be talking about. That's what Carolina be explaining. She's like, "Yeah, that's a different." But if you actually bringing that shit into reality, now you've entered my realm because that's where I'm at. And
That
okay, so
so
now I can
there
say, yeah,
people's
that's not how that actually happened. You actually derived from Africans who migrated over there 70,000 years ago. Oh no, 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 that's not how it happened. But I can't correct them because I'm not an Aborigine. I'm not a Melanesian. That's what y'all are saying.
you can say, hey, that those are your cultural beliefs. If that's what you believe culturally, cool. I'm gonna find my way out because I'm not gonna challenge your beliefs. But saying that, oh,
I'm
they all
challenging
believe
beliefs.
this,
Why
all
y'all want to
that,
put that on me?
that's
That's
disingenuous,
what my page is
and it
for.
crosses the point of disrespect. It does.
What? No, it don't. It's
It
disrespectful.
does.
It's disrespectful to erase history and to say something else happened outside of
What?
actuality. It's disrespectful to lie. Am I lying? That should be the disrespect, not checking the lie. But
Which
that's what I'm
one
saying.
of these which one of these Native Americans, these ATR cultures, are erasing reality when we know we have signs to say contrary? But
when
saying,
you
hey, you
when you
making
get
a
on
video.
when you get on here and you say and you're spreading misinformation, telling people that this happened, and I just got put on the dude we talking about. I'm referencing this Melanesian shit. Got a large following. When you're telling people this on this public motherfucking platform, on Judaism's platform, on Oracle's platform, on Oracle's internet, spreading this misinformation that everybody got access to, somebody has to be a vanguard and say no, that's wrong, and I'm
So
correcting it. You're not
was
going to be
that
able to
person that
spread it.
you're referencing, were they speaking from a religious, an ATR, or a native
They're
point of view,
speaking
or are
from
you
their they're
speaking?
speaking from their cosmogony. This was a Aboriginal dude. It was two of them. That's what I'm saying.
So that's
By
his
that
belief.
logic, I
Not
can't
everyone's going
speak
to
on it.
subscribe to that. Even we have Islamic people, we got Christian people, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism. They all have different creation stories. If they're not going to subscribe to it, they're not going to subscribe to it. And no amount of debunking will change their mind. You know what I mean? You can say, "Oh, I debunked you." There's science that proves you otherwise.
That's
But at the
not
end of the day,
okay. But we understand. So what's the
that's their
mission?
cultural significance. That's their traditions. That's what they
So,
believe. And again, if I go into an indigenous person's life and say,
and,
"Well, actually, it's not you. This is not Turtle Island." What do I look like? I look like a pretentious ass.
well, it's not for me. It's not about how I look. I'm not here for favor. I'm not here for a social gathering. I'm here to
So you just
spread the
want to be
truth.
right?
Yes. What else is there for? I'm not here to stroke my ego. I'm here to put the right
That's
info.
what just being right is. Because
No,
again, you
putting the
can
right
debunk
information
them.
out there is correcting the wrong. You just want wrong to exist. As long as it's a
Again,
part of my culture, I can be wrong as I want to. No, because that means wrong persists. That's how it propagates. If nobody stops in and shuts it down, then it's going to persist. The next thing you know, we're Indians when we was just Hoteps at first. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Like y'all want my methodology to be something else when it's what I know it's to be. What I know what my end goal is. I know what I'm doing. I'm correcting all the misinformation because I know all of the misinformation. Not saying
so
I know everything,
what?
but I'm saying, but as far as like I did the pseudo genealogy, we know where this shit come from. Why not have somebody that breaks it down from the root besides somebody that lets it persist? Just because it's a culture. So like the Ankh is a part of the black culture. Should I just let it ride and let it slide? No, I'm
So
correcting.
again, I think what I said in the other panel, not panel, other chat, and I'm say it here too, you're not addressing the intersectionalities of these different topic areas, right? There obviously there's science. The science is not going to confirm these creation stories, but we also cannot diminish this cultural significance to these native people.
Yes, we
It's a lot
can
of the
and we
time,
have to.
if I can finish real quickly, a lot of the time these different religions, even Buddhism, is how these societies are. How they're shaped versus if you look at how Buddhism cultures and comparing that to Christian cultures, they move very differently because of how those different religions, those different belief systems shape their culture. So it has a place, but I don't think you're allowing that space to
I'm
take
not.
hold.
I'm not exactly. And this is what I'm saying about
And again, that's lacking nuance.
if we're talking about things like geopolitics, and I'm gonna get to that part too, but we're talking about things like geopolitics, is what they really want me to talk about. We can't address that. Dude, first of all, black Americans by our own can't address this. The black race on our own can't do this. You're gonna have to
Right?
work with different races. You're gonna have to work with different ethnic groups. That's mandatory. So being racist and trying to align with somebody that's racist just for the sake of being racist because you listen to too much Khalil Muhammad, that's on you.
I don't
But
know what that has to do with the
that's
mainstream
what I
just
said. Yeah,
deploying
I know.
when it
That's what I said.
comes
I was gonna
to
get to that.
hey, you can be in solidarity with another group of people without having to like, well, actually before I could we connect, all what you believe is not true and factual, and you gotta look at the studies. Well, when you can just like, hey, you're a human, I want to stand up for your human rights.
Okay.
You
Let me get to
can
my
you
point.
you don't have to do one in order to do the other.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to my point to what you were saying to respond, because I was just mentioning that because it was like a little subset of that. So yeah, I guess I can. I can make videos about people in India saying that the rats is their ancestors because it's their culture, and I can. And that's not a cultural bias. That's a truth bias. Your ancestors are not the rats, and that's not sanitary. You know what I'm saying? I can say that, and I could be right, and it is right. It's not sanitary for you to let rats run all around the city and venerate them like they're your ancestors. I can say that, and I will say that, and I will correct it. So this is the thing why it matters and why it's important, and why we got to lay off the culture shit, because the culture shit is how tradition is propagated. People just doing things because people in antiquity did it. Oh, it's just part of our culture. No, culture needs to be revised. Are you progressive or not? You know what I'm saying? Culture
Culture needs to be
Let me
revised.
get that. Culture needs to be revised. You can't just like
Well,
what's
culture
like
evolves naturally
specifically
to begin with. You know, like the normal
and that's what
movement of culture,
and
it
I'm
evolves
a part of
normally.
nature, right?
You're a person,
And people are part of nature, right?
I guess. Again, I
Okay,
don't know where you're trying to
I'm
go
doing
with
nature's
this.
work. So I'm helping it evolve because I'm a part of nature as well. So I'm part of the evolution.
Forcing that
People,
upon other
go ahead.
people.
I'm not forcing nothing. All I'm doing is telling them the truth. Yeah, forcing the truth on them. Deal with it however you want. You either go to pseudo hell, you go in your schizophrenia or whatever you want to do, or you can adopt the truth. It's just that easy. We just had somebody else do it last night. We have people doing this every day, so I know what I'm doing, and I know
So,
that
in your opinion, it would be a better world if everyone was just science
that's
based.
not
And
an opinion. That's definitely not an opinion. Have you ever looked into that
so,
world?
let me say my full statement. So, in your opinion, instead of being pan-Africanist and acknowledging everybody's differences, but still being in solidarity with everyone, it would be better for everyone just be solely science-based and disregard any cultural significance that have shaped their civilizations today.
I wish I had my voice recorder on so I could put that into any of these AI algorithms so it can tell you the answer. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. It's a basic fact. It's a basic fact. Look at all the way that the world is run right now is based off ideology. The ideology is based off the influence. That's why influence is so important. So we got two denominations, which is pretty
So
much
it would be
running
better
both.
for you.
You got two denominations that's running the world. You got Islam and Christianity, and then there's people interpret it how they want to push their ideologies to push their will to have their way. When if we all
Well,
just deconstruct
those are
it,
tools of colonization.
exactly. So it's once again,
You
it's
don't
based.
have to. Those things don't need to be tools of
They're
colonization.
also entrenched in people's culture. A lot of these religions, they're part of theocracies. Some of them covertly, like us, like America,
Religion doesn't have to be, or even different cultures doesn't have to be a tool of colonization. People will weaponize everything in order to fulfill
they can't.
colonization
What they want, but
goals.
this is the thing: they can't weaponize though. They can't weaponize everybody being scientifically literate.
Yes, they can.
How they gonna do it? How they
If
gonna do
people,
everybody being a critical thinker, knowing how to go get the evidence? You can't. That's the
yes,
way
you
we're doing
can.
it. We're
Like, for
doing it with this
example, let me give you an
emotional
example,
cultural
right?
shit.
Let me give you an example, right? Scientifically, but those of African descent have more dense bones and muscles, right? Then on East Africa, they have slow switch muscles, and they have on the West they have
Fast twitch
fast
muscle.
twitch. Yeah.
hmm
So if that is a fact, right? Since that is a fact,
I'm already
it
knowing
can
where you're going.
that can be easily manipulated. Like, hey, those who have physical
No, it can't. It can't be.
advantages, they have physical advantages. They can be higher in society,
No, it
right?
cannot be. It cannot be because
People can weaponize anything. That's why it
we can
can't be
actually
so black
explain
and
that.
white.
But we can actually explain that and the reason why that's the case and why that was beneficial for that climate and that adaptation.
We
And
can
the same
explain
reason why
that. We can
the same reason
explain
why
that
other
all
people.
day, right? We can
But
explain
no,
that all
but no,
day.
we're not gonna do that because
But
we're not gonna do that
but
because
when it
that's
comes to that shaping the way a society moves, it can be weaponized.
no, it
Anyone can
can't.
weaponize
I'm
anything.
literally responding why it can't be, and I'm getting overtalked. It can't be because we would understand that these are adaptations. These aren't nothing to make a people superior or inferior. And we would understand that. And then more importantly, the Europeans will understand their adaptation and why they are the way they are psychologically, let alone biologically. I don't know. They're like, no, it can't be done with science. I feel like
It
that's a bad
can.
faith. I feel like that's genuinely a bad faith argument. It was done
No,
with pseudo. It was done with pseudoscience. I think that's your argument, but that's why it was done with pseudoscience. The real science debunks it, and don't nobody want to talk about it. Yeah, there's no such thing as race. We're all humans. We're all 99.9. 99.9. So now you telling me that everybody knows this. They're finna really trying to beef about that point 0.9 differences?
Yes,
While they're
because
scientifically literate,
people are it can be evil. They can weaponize
but once they're
anything
scientifically literate, they want to be evil based in their tribalistic influences and their
because of their
evolution. Listen, listen,
this.
listen. In their tribalistic influences and how their brains are wired. Once people are knowledgeable about this, you're going to concede. It's literally once you know better, you do better.
People know better and weaponize it today. Why do we
They
think?
don't know better. It
Why do
don't.
we have the Heritage Project, whatever
Oh my
foundation?
gosh, you brought up
They
the
study
Heritage
Black
Project.
people in order to weaponize their how they move throughout society. You can be all the knowledgeable. It
These
just what's your intention with that knowledge?
This is the worst example because we're talking about people who aren't scientifically literate. We're talking about people who still use those pseudo scientific talking points, who subscribe to things like the Great Replacement Theory, which is not a fact. It goes against fact. It goes against science. But that's what I'm saying. If these people who pushed this Heritage Foundation, if they was scientifically literate, they would have to get off the boo boo, or at least the whole world would have to see that. Okay, these people is really just trying to gatekeep their lineage, making sure they reap all the benefits while the rest of the world stays in subjugation and they get all the resources. And we just play this little rat race trying to catch a hit. Then they have to acknowledge that. But then that would be another form of science as well, another form of at least a scientific discipline. We're not just talking about biology and genetics. We're talking about psychology. We're talking about economics. We're talking about geopolitics.
We have to talk about sociology and how people move throughout the world. But again, we can't do that by just using natural scientists as a debunker. Because again, and say we do that, right? Anyone can use anything to justify subjugation.
Like what? Give me an example.
The
Because I didn't like
again, what I
that. I
just
didn't like
gave
the
earlier about
disavow.
physical differences. If one group of people migrates to the north that they're not what's it called physically adapted to, they can be at the lower totem pole of the society based on that. They can use any people
But
can use anything to
society
justify.
society isn't driven by. If that was the case, then niggas would run the world. Society isn't based off physical attributes. That's why I don't
That's what
like
I'm.
that.
Don, I think you missed my example. I
No, but
said that
it can
anyone
never
can
be.
use
Nobody would ever.
anything.
It can never be transferred to that. Because
It
what's the
can
benefit?
anyone can use anything to justify subjugation. I think that's what's
Okay,
being
hey,
meant.
hey, that's your talking point. I mean, it sounds like how it sounds to me, and that's up for everybody else to discern. But I don't think it's a good. I don't think that's a good talking point. Like I say, everybody adapts their own way. There's benefits to these adaptations in these regions. When it comes to looking at it, I think the perception has to be challenged as well because we have also a part of culture is biases. That's a part of culture. Bias, which science wouldn't let you do that, right? But in these cultural biases, we have like these ways that we gauge what's superior or inferior. So how the Europeans do it, they'll look at these testing systems, but they don't pay attention to the demographics or the environment that these people are in these demographics, right? Opposed to these people being able to have a fair chance. So all that would mean is like, I mean, in theory, all that would mean is like, oh, well, I need to adapt to this to have the best physical physiognomy or whatever, and I'm just gonna go to South. So I'm gonna go to Sudan, and I'm gonna practice Sudan culture, and hopefully I gain 3 inches. You know?
I don't agree with that, but I think we went on a tangent. I think at the end of the day, the same way I wouldn't want a
Oh,
white person to speak on African American hoodoo and voodoo culture, I wouldn't want a non-black person
so I
to
shouldn't be
speak
speaking.
on
So I shouldn't be speaking on Israelites.
to speak on what is and what isn't of ATR of African tribal religions.
Oh, you
I
missed the
think
part. You missed the part where I said this, right? Who do you think translated the African spiritual traditions into English? You think it was black folks did that, or do you think it was Europeans?
that's why it's mostly a closed system.
I didn't hear the answer.
I said that's why it's mostly a closed system. A
No,
lot of
so
the
the
practices are
question was who translated this? Who translated these spiritual traditions? Firstly, who documented these spiritual traditions? Firstly, I'll go look it up. Actually,
okay. Again, it still doesn't
no,
really
I
address
think
the point that I said that I would, same way, I don't think a native indigenous person would want me to speak on what is and what is not factual about their traditional practices. I wouldn't want a non-black person to speak
well,
on things that don't concern them.
good thing. I'm a human. You know what I'm saying, and I'm not bound. See, this is another thing about me y'all didn't know. A few people probably heard me say this. I'm a pan-humanist, right? And as a byproduct, I'm a pan-Africanist.
Mm.
So I'm not bound by these constructs like y'all are.
So
The
since
only
you're
reason, go ahead.
So
The only
with
reason,
that pathway, do you stand up for LGBT rights within the Black community, the
stand up
feminist,
for their
womanist
rights.
rights, things like that?
stand up for their rights.
Like, do you
If somebody makes a slur against the LGBT community on my live, I do not stand it. Same way if they are disrespectful to women, I don't stand for. I don't allow it. Right.
okay? So, but do
But
you call
I'm not
out
out
the
marching. I'm not having lives promoting them.
do
But I.
you do you call out the inherent misogyny and the homophobia within Pan-Africanism, or within even with certain FBAs too?
You
Like
said the what? The misogyny and Pan
the
Africanism?
misogyny and the homophobia.
That doesn't exist. Misogyny is not a part of Pan Africanism. Y'all doing
The
what happened the
elitists
other
of
day?
it, yes. True
Y'all doing what?
Pan-Africanism, no. But there's been several people on TikTok that I'm
Yeah,
not
I
going to
don't
mention
like.
that
I
show
mean,
that.
yeah, I
I
don't
just
like that
think
because I don't like that argument because now we're trying to generalize. I guess I don't know. So I guess
that's
y'all
what I'm
found some
saying. Do
people
you
who doing
call
this.
out those instances within
I never.
Pan-Africanism?
I haven't run across those instances. That's why I'm saying they don't exist because it's not a part of Pan Africanism.
I mean, when we talk about the Black Panthers, one of the reasons why Assata Shakur left is because of the inherent assaults, all the assaults and all the misogyny that she experienced. So these things occur, they happen,
Yeah, but
and they need to also be
bruh,
discussed.
I think that's why I say like it didn't make no sense for me to get like all the the straw man arguments that I got for people who not familiar with my content and my lives. That was the odd
We're
part
on
to
a
me.
different subject now, but that's what I'm talking.
I would be able to like segue it if I could land, but when I get interrupted, I completely lose my whole point. So that's gone. Yeah, I know. I know what I'm doing. Y'all don't gotta try to dog walk me into the talking point like I'm a lose point or what. Like
Not.
it
I
would
just want to keep
happen,
us
but
on
I just gotta
topic.
be able to get it off.
I just want to keep us on topic.
Yeah, like I said, it was on topic, but like I said, I know what I'm doing. I know when I can have a segue and not. But like I said,
Okay,
I lost it. I got interrupted.
I'll reiterate then. People like Assata Shakur left the Black Panthers due to the misogyny and the instances of assault, SA, within the Black Panthers. Some people disregarding those instances and saying that they must have wanted or should have gave it to them.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
why these things do need to be discussed, because if there's going to be progression forward, we can't have these marginalized groups within marginalized groups
yeah,
go
I think that's
until.
misogyny. Yeah, you're right. You're right, and I do address that. I wouldn't conflate that with Pan Africanism because that's very disingenuous to do.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would,
not complaining. I'm saying these instances occur and they need to
Yeah,
be
I would
addressed.
say, I would say that that's just based off the patriarchy, and as decolonizing, like that's a part of it. You can't be a patriarchal, you can't revere a patriarchal system. You got to recognize the benefits that you got to get out of that as a man, and you got to recognize how women are subjugated as a part of it. I do talk about this. That's what I'm saying. That's why I just got through saying before I was interrupted. If anybody comes to my live, they would know this. People making a claim like they come to my live, but don't because they go off to these echo chambers, talk shit about me while I'm not there. Then when I come, still talk shit about me, won't let me respond. But no, yeah,
So I
I
don't
always do that. And any of the women that come to my live, any of the mods on my live, they know this and can co-sign with this.
that.
You say bitch on here, you gonna get dropped before you even get to say the next word.
So
So
again, I'm not talking about the instances where FBAs call people out their names. I'm talking about,
I'm not
hey,
talking about that
there's a
either.
history of these instances being propped up within civil rights movements like the Black Panthers, though, like those being topics of conversations rather than which indigenous nigga thinks they're Cherokee and
But
which
see,
one
that's what
thinks
I'm
they're
saying.
Choctaw.
Why people want to dictate what kind of lives people run when it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives? Do you
No,
go
I'm
tell that
literally,
girl?
that's
Do
why
you
I'm
go
just
tell that
asking.
girl stop dancing in that corner? Do you do that? Do people do that, or do they just be on my job for some reason because they want me to do something that they want me to do? Because that's kind of crazy to me. Because
That, which is why I literally
that live could
just
easily
asked.
exist. That live could easily exist, and don't nobody. And you know what I'm saying. And don't nobody got to come to me with it. Why would they put that? Why would they make like it's like somebody giving me a backdrop? Hey, do this live.
No,
Like,
that's
what?
literally I never said, hey, you should. That's why I said I'm asking,
No, I'll
has
be
that
happy
ever
to.
been a topic of conversation?
Yeah, I answered it, and then like I did, I had specified. I'm not conflating Black Panther Party or anything Pan African with misogyny. If anything, that has to do more so with colonization and patriarchy under that concomitants in that proximity. But yeah, I address
I
it, but I don't conflate. I don't conflate the two when addressing it. If that's what you're
and
asking.
I think I've reiterated said it several times that I'm not conflating it. I'm talking about the instances where it happens that in order for progression to happen, we need to weed out these marginalized groups within our marginalized group already. And that's why I asked, hey, are these topics of conversation, or do you just say something when someone calls another person out of their name?
Yeah, no, I talk about like I say from my perspective. That's in general my whole topic is decolonizing the brain, right?
So
Revising our culture.
those are not singular topics.
No. Like I said, I don't do that. Because I'm not. Because to me, that sounds like I'm putting them in the same bucket. Like you're trying to say groups within groups. Like no, everybody in their in their proximity to these Europeans have adopted some part of their ideology, and the patriarchy is part of that. And then the patriarchy subjugating women and feeling like, especially when you're in these positions of control, you get to have some type of ownership to these women. We talk about that in instances, but I would never
An instance.
compare. Hold on. But I would never compare it with the Black Panther Party. But yeah, we talk about it with Nature Boy, with Pharaoh, with Rashad, with Nawab, with the
With
Nawabians.
with other pseudos.
Other pseudos. I don't think the Black Panthers would be pseudos to say other.
No,
But I
I'm
got
like you mentioned Creed and
with
all
pseudo,
of them.
yeah, with these cults that I address. Yeah, that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm talking about. Like people want to make me talk about other shit for why? Ain't that weird? Don't
No,
you
I'm
see
just
that?
asking if you do. I'm not saying that you should. So that's why I'm like, this is this is
I
not just
do,
you,
and I don't have
but
to
it's
though.
only brought up when other indigenous niggas are in the conversations. What I'm speaking, I understood, heard. I get, and I'll leave it there then.
But you seen how you got to come over here and speak. I didn't get to say this much. You know, if we have contention in the community, that's the best thing we could do is have a debate. They want to pull this debate bro card like this. No, you can call it a conversation. You can call it discourse. You can call it a bill. You don't have to be, but I feel like we have contention. That's the best way to address the misinformation, or else we gonna fuck around and ended up like Biggie and Tupac. They asking for my address earlier today. So yeah, unless we do this the right way, which is have conversations or debates or arguments, however y'all want to say it, then we're gonna continue bump heads for more decades and probably centuries to come.
I think it's a hard line. I would think for most people that if you're not same way, like if you're not Black, don't say that N-word. If you're not Black, you don't have much ground to speak on Black issues, including other areas of study. And that's where I personally stand. But if you're more on the natural science of things and that way, I get that's the way you're gonna move.
What's that
Okay.
man name? What's that man name who I'm trying to pull for this lady name now, man. Oh my goodness. One of the Black scholars who went to go study the West African spiritual system. She went down there and did Gullah Geechee. She went down there and did Cujo. Oh, please say this name. Lady
Zora Neale
name.
Hurston.
Zora Neale Hurston. Thank you.
Zora Neale
So
Hurston.
who sponsored her? Was it the Hershevich dude? The Neil Hershevich, something like that? This is what I'm trying to say because when they were talking about what the debate they wanted me to have, we trying to
Yes, sir.
gatekeep
No.
a culture that these Europeans documented and told us about. It's the same thing like if we was to talk about the Hoteps. Motherfucking that Malefi Kate Asate, he didn't go to damn Egypt before the Europeans started writing about it. You like, and now we want to gatekeep.
So
Oh, we know about it. It's ours now. Hold on, and
if
then I
he
made
read
this point
about
too.
it, and then he went over to the culture and learned about it firsthand, I think that's the whole purpose of learning, right? It's seeing for yourself and it's proving it to yourself if these things are or if these things are just
We getting
interesting,
out.
right?
Now we getting off
And
topic. Now we getting off
nothing else.
topic. Now we get off
Truly we
topic
are.
because
Truly
the
we are.
the point is that we don't want white T people talking about these issues when white T people are some of the first people who document these issues, some of the first people who are paying for these
Okay.
exhibitions and all this. Okay, so they can talk about it.
No, because it didn't start with them. You
Anthropologists.
can write. I
Look, look,
can
look.
write down. I can learn
Anthropologists,
about
right?
Korean. I can write about Korean and what the Korean culture is. How does that give me ground to learn about to speak on the rights of Koreans?
If you know more about it
The
than most of
rights.
these people talking about it, then yeah, if you're an anthropologist and you
No,
study Korean culture,
There are more.
if you're an anthropologist and you study Korean culture and you know the ins out, you know everything about it, and you have a person that's a part of that culture misquoting or saying something controversial to it, then yeah, you have the right to go ahead and jump in and
So
say, no, you're
controversial
wrong
to
about
that
it.
culture, right? That's
But
the
they
whole, that would
within
be
the
the pseudo
culture.
of it. That would be the pseudo of it, right? But
But they in
coming
that
in and
culture and
say,
say
hey,
this is the
if
way they do it.
Koreans believe that, oh, there's a sun god and that's within their culture, me coming in and being more science and natural science based, saying, well, actually, the sun rotates around the. That's now me saying, oh, your culture is like, it's diminishing their cultural significance to that. Obviously, there's not going to be a group of people. There's going to be groups of people that believe something else that know the signs of it, but we also have to see how that belief system within, in this example, Korean, being the sun god pulling over the sun, whatever, how that influences their culture, but diminishing it and saying, almost disregarding how that the civilization of Korea in this example was shaped by that belief system is disingenuous and almost what's it called,
Yeah,
People
we.
get
erasing
I
culture.
said this a long time ago, and
Cultural
I'm gonna let you. I'm
significance.
gonna let you. I'm gonna let y'all have it after this because I'm finna go walk my dog. What I was gonna say. Yeah, you can do it. So don't worry about that, y'all. I just wanted to go over this because you mentioned this early about a scientific world being better. Yes, a more scientifically literate world would likely be better, fostering improved decision making, critical issues like climate change, health. You know, these people not. You know, they think climate change is fake because they believe in the Bible, bro. We're all fucking around go any day now. These motherfuckers gonna keep it to themselves. Oh no, God got us. Here we go. Change health, technology, empowering individuals to distinguish fact from fiction. That's what I'm talking about here, y'all. And then with the other one, I went to the first Europeans who documented the West African culture. I should have went to the damn
You can
Arab
have
first.
a culture
Hold
without it
on, I'm getting
subjugating the
interrupted again. I'm
masses.
getting interrupted. So the Portuguese explorers, sponsored by Prince Henry the Navigator, were the first Europeans to systematically explore and document these West African cultures. Once again, if we speak in English, how the hell are we getting this? We don't have no initiator coming directly to us to drop this game on us.
And
This is
then that's
obviously
why
how
you can
we
go
get
to
it.
those tribes directly,
You
not the
can go, but they're
translators.
not doing that.
That's
They
why
seen Beyonce do it, and they want to act like do what Beyonce doing. They going off like
if they're
what's popular.
genuine, they're gonna find the origins. They're not gonna rely the same way that we all know, like
All right,
the
I'm
way
finna
the
go walk.
pseudos always say that, oh, well, that's a white T man science. That's a white T man science. That's like the only 10%, 5% that get accurate. Meanwhile, when we do our own research on what happened and go to the sources of things that happen, we see how brutal and cruel slavery was and how that trickles down to today. That's why we can't solely rely on what the white T man says,
My
right?
point once again is the white T people educated you about it. They the reason why we educated about it. They wrote it in English
You
first,
can
but they
go
can't talk.
to
But they
those
hold on. My point
people.
is they can't talk about it.
We
Yet
have
they the
black
reason.
historians. We have
Yeah,
Yoruba
yeah.
historian, African
Now we
historians that
do,
can tell you about it right now
but not
and that have
originally.
done the actual
Originally,
work of it.
Prince Henry. Originally, these Portuguese
F. Prince
explorers.
Harry, go to the Yoruba
Prince Henry.
people.
Here. Prince Henry. So that's what I'm saying. It don't make no sense for y'all to try to act like this. I'm not gonna lie.
F. Prince Harry, go to the people directly. But
I
that's
said
all I got to
Henry.
say.
So I got a question there. So I'm mixed race, right? Grew up in black culture all my life, don't know anything else. Then wasn't raised in YT culture at all. But just because I have a YT parent, I was told that I can't speak on black culture and black issues. Same thing when it
That's
came from other
ignorance.
stuff. So I know it's ignorance, but at the same time, I can speak on it, but just because of my skin tone and who I'm related to, I am X'd out of those conversations most of the time when I get up on live because they
So
say, "Oh, you got a YT parent, you can't talk on this. You're
Wait a
not really
minute.
black."
Wait a minute.
so that's very different
Wait a
on
minute.
a person that has no cultural connection to a specific culture. In this case would be ATR.
I
You
get you.
have a cultural connection to
I'm
white tea
telling y'all,
culture,
once y'all
how
do
they
some
move,
research on it,
right?
y'all see how people
Wait.
y'all will see once y'all do some research how people how people's culture, just look it up, y'all. Look it up. Does people's culture affect geopolitics? Does it affect the world?
Mm.
Look it up. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not saying this
Yes.
stuff for no reason.
Yes.
So
And again, religion,
No, wait a
culture
minute.
doesn't have
Wait
to
a
be used to subjugate people.
wait,
So, or
brother.
basically erasing that
But
is
now we
not,
get into
is diminishing.
hypotheticals though, because that's what's
Wait,
used.
no. We're into a good subject because I would love to ask Brito a question. How do you present in the world?
Okay.
I
Well,
present as
that's
a
all I
black
wanted to
man.
say.
I present as a black
You
man.
look black. You look black.
Yeah,
So you've been treated black your entire life.
Yeah, by
Well,
outsiders and insiders.
that's
So
sexual
you
chocolate right
didn't
there.
need so you didn't need that white woman's permission to be black. You always looked it and you were always treated as black, correct?
In my neighborhood, in my community that know me, yeah, always. But outside of my community,
Okay.
no, I'm other.
So okay,
Like when
so
people see
you're
me,
mixed.
when people see me out in public and they don't know me and I'm not in my community, they look at me as other. They talk to me as other. They don't see black
What
at all.
who
They see
sees you as
something else.
other? Who sees
What you
you as
mean?
other?
White
Who
tea
sees you as
people,
other?
Hispanic or Spanish or Latino people, a lot of them see me as other.
Bruh, I get the same treatment and I would love to know how you get the same treatment. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. We could talk about it. But my point was
Let's
leading
talk
up
about
to this though.
so
Before
no,
she
no,
already
no.
jumped off.
So okay, so
She already
you got
jumped
a
off.
white mama, you got a
Nah,
white
no
mama,
white
a
mom.
black daddy.
No, I don't
Who
have white
made
tea
you
mom.
who made you multiracial?
I don't have my dad is white tea.
Your dad is white tea.
Yeah,
So you
my
have a
mom
white tea daddy and a black mama, and you look black, and you
to
walk
some.
through all your life. No, to everybody, you look black.
To some.
You've been
Nah.
black
You
your
see
Bro,
whole
me?
life.
y'all don't have the
That
same
picture that you
phenotype,
see,
bro.
Wait,
that
Yeah,
picture
y'all don't
that,
have the same
wait,
phenotype, bro. You and him don't have
huh?
the same face.
look,
You
check
and
it out.
him don't have the same face. People might think he's racially ambiguous outside of these saying,
You see
but
my
you don't
face?
have
Who
that
thinks
face.
that man
Nobody's
is
thinking you are
racially
racially
You
ambiguous?
see my
ambiguous.
face?
Who?
See my face, bro?
Let's okay, everybody in the comments drop like a one if you think that don't look like a black
I
man.
ain't gonna lie, this is not the conversation that we was trying to have right now. We trying to talk about the
I
ATRs.
know that is a black man. You look like a light-skinned black man. We would not know that you had a white daddy.
But yeah, I think
What else he gonna look
Carolina
like?
should most definitely apologize for what she did. She crossed the line with that
What
one.
she do?
Well,
What she
no,
do?
she could live.
I
She
mean,
could live.
by speaking on black culture practices.
What she said? What she said? What she say?
I didn't hear what she said, so I wasn't there.
Oh well. We don't need to have no position on what she should do if we ain't hear nothing.
But if
That's
folks, but
not
if
even right, bro. See,
if
that's how I
it's
know. That's how I know y'all just be dry racist. Cause if y'all don't know what she said, how she gonna apologize for it? Does that make sense, y'all? Please let me know when I'm making it or not. Y'all, listen. Let me know when I'm
We
not making
here.
sense,
We
bro.
here. And
So
I'm not
bro,
coming
that was
to
leading me up to this point. I got a YT
She don't even
friend,
know what
right?
she said. She got to apologize. I'm gonna make sure that I hit up and tell her don't apologize.
Cause look, I got a YT friend that grew up in black
You
We
culture,
not
just
finna
right?
had black
apologize.
All the
Listen,
way
ain't no
Santa
white
black
up
people.
people
here
ever finna
talking about
apologize.
people think
We
he
up here
knew.
wearing unks. We wearing bendies. We wearing Aruba beads. We in every continent. We ain't apologized to nobody. Y'all
Hey Don,
better
how you put it
stop
on?
it. Get off the boo
How you
boo.
put it on? How you put it on the right one, Don? I be trying to put it on the right
I'm
stuff.
sorry. We got Black Santa up here talking about like people can't tell he look black.
Look. When I go to Latin countries, Latin speaking countries, nah, they don't look at me as being black. When I go into the Caribbean, sometimes like
What?
in Jamaica,
Who don't look at you look as
straight
being
up.
black?
When I go to the Caribbean, when I go to Jamaica, if I go to the Bahamas, I have. It's been plenty of times, especially
You're
when
a
I have my
liar
hair.
and you're the devil.
Look,
You're a liar and you're the
especially
devil.
when I do that. Why they? Especially when I get this hair out and my hair is down like this. Totally different. I get totally different treatment.
What do they call you? What do they call you? What do they call
What
you?
you
If they
mean?
call you
They'll
anything.
walk up. There's some of them
What?
will walk up
No,
speaking.
because I'm from the Caribbean and I spend 3 months every year in the Caribbean. So I know how they treat you and I know how they call you. What do they call you?
Listen, most of the time when they speak in a different
What
language, I
do
don't
they
know
call
what they
you?
saying. They speak in
No,
English.
no.
If they speak
Oh,
in
so
English,
you don't even know what they call you.
if they're
No,
speaking
no, no.
English, if they're speaking English, they know that I'm mixed with something, and they know I'm probably mixed with black, but they don't look at me totally as black. Oh yeah, I got
Okay.
restricted, yo.
So can you tell the
At
rest of
that
the black
VAP,
Americans
bro.
that they don't look like you?
Say again.
You at that VAP out,
Oh.
bro.
Yeah, no, he was bringing all the. So okay,
Yeah, they
so
put a restriction for you. Bring you come up on the back up.
yeah,
They
no,
restrict the
he
line.
he he getting it, and I'm not gonna lie, I did block a lot of people that are reporting people, and they are out there, and they don't want to have this conversation go on. But what I was trying to ask him is, when he goes to the Caribbean, yo little jaune, yo little T blanc, little white, which is what
Just come
we
back in 10 minutes.
call,
Come back in for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was it.
we call people that are light skinned T blondes, little whites. In the Caribbean, we call them T blondes, we call them little whites, we call them jaunes, we call them yellows, like y'all call them yellow over here. Oh, you a yellow girl. When the last time y'all called somebody in your country a yellow person? We've been calling them yellow forever. You got a little bit of admixture in you. So we know who you are, but we know that you are black.
All right,
And
let's
that
get back to
one,
that. Hold on, let's get back to this
yeah.
part because he gonna be back in
Go
about a few
ahead,
minutes.
go
We'll
ahead.
pick it back. We'll pick it back on when he come back though.
So
He
so
probably
real
Okay,
will.
no
quick,
problem.
Don Dada, they mad at Carolina because she gave or she said that 'cause again, I didn't know what ATR meant. I'm not very familiar with any of the African traditional religions. I guess that's how I hope I didn't mess it up. But at the same time, from a position of a atheist, which she says she is, um, I don't. What that's like anybody saying, that isn't a
Okay.
believer, that they don't believe it and it's pseudo. So, I mean, is it because she's, indigenous that they don't want her to say it's.
Nah, I mean,
Wait,
so
so you
if
believe
I'm gonna be
Carolina
honest,
is indigenous?
Carolina is indigenous. So yeah, I'm gonna say it like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
she
news
not.
to me.
What is she?
That's news to me
You hear me?
because yes,
What is
I
she?
can hear you. That's news to me.
You just said it 3 times when I asked him what is she.
Yeah, Carolina is on every live
Okay,
being
all right, all right,
everybody
all right,
she
all right, all right,
wants
all
to
right. I
be.
was asking what is she. I'm not
So,
getting an answer.
yeah. Exactly. No, you're gonna get an answer. Carolina is
I'm talking to you.
Creole.
You said she not.
Carolina is indigenous. I said you asked me if you want me to answer what she is.
Yeah,
I'm telling you everything I heard she said. She said she
I'm
was.
listening.
Carolina has been on Mexican, Creole, indigenous lives talking about her ancestry, saying that she
Damn, is we on
mixed.
here or not? What's up with the suspense?
So
What's her
no,
ethnic admixture?
Carolina,
Since she's not indigenous, what's her
I
ethnic
don't
admixture?
know.
Okay, well, damn, you
I
just
don't
wasting my time.
know.
I was,
No, I
man, y'all
no,
got to
I
stop doing
no,
that because
no,
I be
I
finna say
don't
some
know
good
what
shit.
she is.
All
No,
right, well
I
then,
don't know
okay,
what she
so okay,
is.
and I do. She's indigenous.
What's her major admixture? Why
She
is she
always
on so
she
many
a
All right,
lives?
pageant,
that's
bro.
why I
She
say
always do that.
hey, listen, that's what I say. I'm not like that, y'all. I'm not like that, and that's why like FBA ain't gonna go nowhere.
No,
Pretending. Hold
what's
on.
her
Let me.
major
Hold
admixture?
on. We already know that's why she indigenous. So that's why I say FBA ain't gonna go nowhere because the xenophobia prevents them from going anywhere. It's like you're literally stopping your fan base. It's like you saying fuck y'all, and where you can have a larger fan base, and that's why we gonna end up popping because niggas not racist, bro. I'm just not, bro. And this is like I say, this is coming from a nigga. I don't got no white friend, no Mexican friend, no none of that shit. Nothing but niggas. Family, nothing but niggas. But I still don't do that shit. I wouldn't want nobody to do with me. That's why I say I'm not bound by these white folks' ideologies like y'all. Y'all black, they told y'all black, y'all lock in the black. The only reason why I'm locked in the black is because we forced to. And this is one thing, not only just black folks, everybody that's not white. The great replacement theory say anybody who not white. They're not talking about just niggas. So anybody who not white need to be trying to unite and decolonize because everybody who's not white is the one that's colonized. Let me know when I'm not making sense, please, y'all. I can take correction. Am I right? So yeah, I guess you know what I'm saying. Black people unite. I do believe that we're the first people who need to unite because we're the most influential people. We need to use our influence to do right. But you can't do nothing. You can't expect. I ain't gonna say do nothing, but you can't expect like a wholehearted change just to come from just sole black people without any outside ethnic groups assistance. And like that's never been the case. But I mean, but ultimately this is all about, I'm thinking, he said I done did some cool shit. Soon as I go up on there, he said, what's up? I'm thinking I'm finna just say what's up back. I don't know the beef exists. I promise you, but my spidey senses be telling me somebody out here ain't been around who supposed to be around. You know what I'm saying? So he say, what's up? I'm finna say, what's up back. I say, hold on, is that a raccoon at the back? I say, is that for me? Is that for me? And then I find out it's behind some video that he's not referencing. And then he's talking about it's behind Carolina. I'm thinking you finna say some white boy or something, bro. It isn't talking about Carolina.
Whose panel was it? Like Carolina was on that was having this discussion
Then the
about
lady,
that.
it wasn't, I don't,
It
bro,
wasn't.
hey,
Oh shit!
you
No,
did that
I'm
dumb shit.
sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know if somebody dropped me. I'm back.
Yeah, I didn't drop you, so I don't know if
I
somebody
didn't
else did.
drop you either.
But,
So yeah, what panel was it? Like, you
bro, you
know,
see that? You see they don't even know. They up here regard. This is what I'm saying. If somebody ever says something about me, I don't
Who is
got
who?
no
I hope it's
mentions.
not me.
The only mentions I get is from people reposting my story. People who feel a way about some shit. If I gotta find out about it like that, when I'm intentionally seeking like ways where our views collide, to have a debate about it, to have discourse, and you feel like it's more, I don't know, beneficial for you to have like beef with me instead to talk about it, to conversate it, you ain't nothing but a fucking modern day goddamn Tupac and Biggie. You still want Biggie in them there. I won't pop
Oh,
back. If they would have
okay.
sat down and had a conversation, they would have seen, oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, we
This
tripping.
ain't got nothing to do. This ain't got nothing to do with me because I was like, oh, you talking about me? I was trying to figure out who's getting the smoke.
Yeah, nobody's getting smoked because they like I'm not lying. They literally, I felt like I was over there on Poppy Creole Live. They did not let me talk. A whole bunch of people. I can tell you who was over there, and I can tell you for sure because I didn't hear him
Oh,
push
that's
back.
why
Was the
I just
MC
wanted to make
Leo
sure
something
the
like that?
smoke. Yeah. I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wish I was over there to see that shit. They treated me wrong. They put a whole bunch of strongman arguments on me. They put a whole bunch of ideologies on me. Oh man, y'all bitches. I didn't even know y'all knew about me. And y'all up here talking about all the shit I do, don't do. When the part about it for me is like the reason why I act like this, the reason, and I try to push really for the brothers. I really try to push brothers buttons when it comes to like the ego. So like saying, if you got some information, I'm up here with the rah and be like, oh, this nigga think he knows something. I debate this nigga, shut this nigga up. All that's gonna make us do is bring the information together. I'm not above getting corrected. I love getting corrected. But you know what I'm saying? People think that's such a bad, oh, I wanna, please, man, say, let me know if I'm saying something wrong, even if it's my perspective. But like, there's no way you can tell me that having a debate is bad. I promise y'all, look it up. Did y'all look up that other part? Would a scientifically literate world be better? Did y'all look it up? It's gonna say hell, fuck yeah.
I believe that. I honestly believe that you know, and I for me myself, you know, anecdotal, but that's the thing that got me out of, you know, my particular belief in that falling for or falling into that idea that is something beyond something beyond something beyond. You know what I'm saying? So again, once we have a better way of like you said, critically thinking, then you know it's like, yo, we gotta, you know, we can do better. We won't succumb to all of the falsehoods and all the lies, yeah, and all the gaslighting. So I mean, I don't know, you know, why people so up in arm. I mean, an atheist is an atheist. If she don't have any belief in any religion, if somebody's talking about it and she is on panel, what the fuck is the problem? But I don't know. I really don't know.
Hey, Black First, you see this dude in the comments talking about you not pro-black? See, this
I,
this the shit I'm talking about right here, bruh.
but again,
They
but
motherfuckers
again,
want to gatekeep blackness and gatekeep who's pro-black based off your own preconceived motherfucking notion.
right?
That's my shit.
When my resume run deep, you know what I'm saying. But again, I'm just not a person. I'm not a follower for one. For two, I mean, I'm like Don Dada. We can have discourse without having it to go, you know, to you know, being overly emotional and so on and so forth. I love Shaka and I love that whole crew. Have we disagreed? Yes, we've disagreed in the past, but at the same time, we were able to get past it and keep it moving. Even some vitriol was spewed. So again, it's about having a little bit more patience and understanding and having a conversation. Everybody is not built the same way. I mean, what
Man, you remind me.
Dandada
I
has.
big that dude up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, bro.
Nah, I just said you reminded me. I bigged little dude up. I bigged him up. I was talking about redirecting his passion, but it's like I say, if people be onto their own devices, then it's like I can't do nothing. But that's why I kind of like deboed the live the other day. It's because like I ain't gonna lie, being soft, that shit don't work. These people don't adhere to that shit. I done told y'all many times, people adhere to the authority. And unless you gonna come off like the authority, they gonna play you like a regular pseudo. So I boss up on them. I handle them like they peons. So that a lot of people kind of perceive me away because of that. But like I say, bro, everything be for a reason. But I definitely had like big expectations from him. I didn't know it was gonna end up him having some type of fake quarrel with me, and then that shit not even real. Like at least. The issue is he mad because I did what I did with Khalid Muhammad while he had him as a profile picture. And that's what I say. I do that shit on purpose. I hear motherfuckers talk about astrology and they on my team. I done made an astrology video. I see somebody do some hotep shit. Yeah, I made a hotep video. You feel away? Debate about it. I don't know why that's like niggas acting like I'm asking for the address.
And bro, that's another thing in our community that's culturally done. We talking about this astrology shit. I heard Shaka even talk about that one time, talking about being Aquarius. And look, man, this stuff runs so deep that it's hard to weed it out. Even though this brother was coming from a Black Panther background, you up here talking about astrology or talking about your signs. Man, look, if it's pseudo and it is out there to the point where I don't care what it is, traditional African religion, traditional black religion in America, if you can correct it, if you see, because you got African tribes right now that use dung, they use cow dung in their hair. I can't say nothing about that to them and say, hey, you shouldn't do that. I know it's traditional. I know it's cultural. I know that's where you come from and it's your background in order to get your locks the way you like them. But using dung, using feces is problematic. And that's the science on it. We talk about the bacteria. We talk about the shit. Even though I don't down them on it, I'm just talking about the factual information. And if I'm not a part of their culture and they don't see me as being one of them, yeah, I got a
Hey,
right to still talk about it.
hey, guess what happened with that? Me and Shaka already know about that. Me and Shaka already chopped it up in the back. That's why I say, the nigga's literally a mod. He probably right now still a mod on my page. He could probably come up on here and drop everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I talked to Shaka about that. I talk like if somebody say some shit and it's like I'm not finna just necessarily blast you like I'm trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Get a point, get a cookie. I chopped it up with him about it. He know. A lot of this shit is just like you said, it just be withdrawals. We cling on to this shit and we may say it. Shit, I might be in the bed and I might say God. And then I ain't finna fuck up the mood. I'm just gonna be like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you right though. I said it before. And then one of my homegirls, she had brought it up. She said, I always remember something you said. If you wanna dress up, you gotta let everybody else play dress up. You can't say, oh, I wanna play Caitlyn Jenner, but I don't wanna let nobody else do nothing. I'm fine with it. But when we try to say it's true, then that's when y'all give me the ability to push back on it.
See, look, bro, right after I said that about cow dung, you got this dude, Jay God. He said it's a healthier alternative to use cow dung over shampoos they sell in the stores in Africa.
Well, then look, I like that, right? So now this is my take on it. We got different views, right? Now we find out the methodological approach we're gonna have to come to the conclusion on what's true and what's accurate. Then all we do is do that and measure it up, let the people decide for themselves based off the evidence and how it's presented, which one is correct. That's so easy. It ain't gotta be all this having me listen to you for 45 minutes, cuss me out while I'm on mute and I don't even know you. Only one I knew up there besides Shaka was MC Cell. Didn't know none of them people up there talking about me. I'm telling y'all, y'all need to stop flattering me because I'm really over here fucked up in the head as it is. I'm already talking to all these idiots all day. But yeah, in case y'all missed it, because I know I got a few people over here, I went over into the into what's her name? I forget the girl name. Okay, I went to a live where Shaka called me a coon, and it was because I let something I don't even remember, but yeah, I let Carolina speak on Black African traditional rituals, something like that.
Oh, you
And
talking
then
about Shaka from
everybody know
LA?
Carolina. They know she not confrontational. She's not disrespectful. If she did bring it up, she didn't. It's not like she was doing it to drag anything. She brought it up as respectfully as possible. She said it's not historically. I mean, it's not aligned with history. It's not aligned with science. And probably dropped it. If it
Hold
exists,
on,
please
bro.
clip it.
Bro. You got me twisted now. You talking about LA Shaka? Or you talking about young Shaka
No. It's
from
Lil Shaka. My bad. It's a Lil Shaka.
Oh yeah, he do that all the time, bro. He do that to a lot of people, man. He do it. He's so revolutionary in how he think and how he want to be. Yeah, he gonna do that all back. He did that to Big Shaka. He did that to other ones. So I get what a little bro trying to come from, and I get his fire. But man, everybody ain't no motherfucking coon. Just because they think fucking differently than you, just because they ain't got the Khalid Muhammad mentality and all that shit, and they just want to take it to. And I like a lot of these dudes are accelerationists, man. And they so accelerationist. I told them before. I said, man, so listen, I got people I love. I ain't trying to accelerate it like that. I can survive some shit if it came down to it, but I'm not finna do that when I got a almost 70-year-old mama, 90-year-old, 99-year-old granny. I ain't trying to do it like that, bro.
He's
You
only
talking
22.
about?
Yeah, that don't matter. I'm sorry. We got to stop doing that too. We got to stop. Take the nip out of him. He's a grown ass man. He's knowledgeable. He grown up to be knowledgeable on the information ahead of his time, supposedly. But shit, if this was the 60s, he'd be right on time with it. So yeah, no.
And
But
he
yeah,
need that,
that's
bro. He need that pushback because if he keeps in that mentality and taking that in the way he doing it, listen, man, he gonna have a lot of problems.
Black. Come back because I want
I,
you to talk about this too because this is kind of I feel like it's NOI inspired. Well, you can talk about it too, Britt.
You know it.
Yeah, it's NOI inspired in its approach, and like I say, that's not a. Everybody got they method. Mine is this education, education, and that's why you say that. What's the word? What's the word you call it? They trying to move too
Oh,
fast.
that accelerationist. They want to
Acceleration is
accelerate.
yeah. You trying to move too fast. That ain't how the shit gonna go. Y'all trying to crash. Y'all really trying to crash out and trying to say if you ain't trying to crash out, you weak. Nigga, yeah, like you
Yes.
said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to have everybody live. You niggas be
yeah,
trying to really.
I feel like everybody got their own lane, man. Like you over here, you know what I mean? You debunk the pseudos. You got Miss K on one side. You talk about the political stuff. Everybody got their own lane, man. Everybody don't got it. You know what I mean? They talk about the revolutionary stuff. What you do is what you do. I don't feel like you gotta step on somebody else's toes because they ain't talking about what you talking about. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
I was so surprised, fam. I'm like, I had to look at them motherfuckers. I said, damn, that raccoon little bitch. I said, nigga, I promise. I thought it was a part of his username at first. I said, I know ain't nobody playing with me like this. Soon as I seen that, y'all know the first thing I said. I said, well, we could have a discussion on this. They didn't want to do it. Then it becomes disingenuous. For me, anytime somebody don't want to have a debate, they disingenuous. They trying to grift. They trying to get their point across and stay in the echo chamber without hearing the counter argument. And that made me look at you different as a person. I'm not gonna lie, that part. Let alone, you racist, it's all good. Even with Carolina, I done told Carolina I'm not cool with her being racist. She's super racist to herself, to white T people. I'm not cool with that. I'm not racist. I'm not just finna sit up here as a whole nigga and hold some hate behind these motherfuckers that I don't even know personally. And like I say, I don't know none of these motherfuckers personally. I don't know no motherfucker. It's not like I'm like some of these other people. Well, I went to all black everything. All black everything. But it wasn't only but one white girl in my whole school, and that was all the way to high school. So I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you're right though.
But
I don't know
but
what they got going on in their lives. She said I follow people that my peers that they lives be in. They host live, they in this period. I'm gonna be like, okay, they stamping that. By being here, they stamp that. I'm gonna come in and fuck with them later. It's not meaning that the information you got is correct. I still don't know you, lady. Y'all can attest to this. Y'all don't ever really see me outside. I don't ever be outside here. I go to OHF live. I go to Tika, anybody, Mello, anybody of us go live. Then I'm in there. Not in everybody else business like that. It's too much going on. But yeah, they felt the way about me. But I promise you, that's what it is. And like I said, I do that intentionally. I jug it all the little other shit, cause that's what happened. I realized it once I realized that the pretending shit was what they believe. Cause we trying to bring them evidence. It's the same thing as we talking to them Aboriginals about their creation story last night. It's no different. These people stuck on pseudo, and like I said, it's not necessarily. We all know this. It's not necessarily about the person that we're having that interaction with. We have a panel right now, 50 people in the panel in the chat. You have like 10 people don't know nothing about this stuff, getting educated off the misinformation that these people spewing. They sounding crazy as hell. Everybody else hearing this. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a nobody pushing back on this shit when Noble Drew Ali did it. When Ivan Van Sertima did it, yeah, you had pushback on it, but it's like nobody was just ever. She got the job. Nobody said that shit. I was the first person I heard said that shit. I'm not even like, oh no. And then I looked into it. I said, oh yeah, they've been debunking this shit. A whole bunch. They got a whole video on YouTube, like scientists after scientists after scientists after scientists after scientists. I'm talking about it's probably like 30 scientists debunking what She got the job did with this shit. I bring it to here. Now they want to make me the bad guy. I said, Khalil, I posted a video. I literally did this shit on purpose. Posted a video just to Khalil saying that we the Israelites. And now you feel the way. I said, we not the Israelite. I probably put a laughing emoji up there. And that's what did it. I don't care. We're not fucking Islam. It's going to be hard for me to revere, like put them up on like my profile picture, anybody. Because I don't like how we revere people in general. Like, because once again, that's lazy. When we start revering people, I think it's a way for us to be like, look up to other people so we don't have to like hold ourselves accountable. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because I be doing it myself. When I be back here ducked off saying I don't want to do this shit, I don't. I want somebody else to do it. So I know I'm able to project. I know I don't want to fucking out here be Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar on fucking steroids. I don't want to do that shit. So I do it like this. Hopefully somebody catch it and they can push it. So I know that's what they doing. Being lazy.
It's funny that I just found out that's who you talking about, bro. Because I done been in the space before. It wasn't on Lil Shaka's live. It was on one of his homeboys live, and that was the first thing that happened to me. That's what I was talking about. Motherfuckers telling me I can't talk on black shit. You ain't black. You ain't this. You ain't that. I was like, nigga, how the fuck you gonna tell me who I? How you gonna gatekeep what is fucking black? Because a lot of black people in America got some YT mixture within them. So let's talk about that then. So what is really fucking black, and what is a black issue? Y'all trying to make a black issue or black this and then black that. Y'all doing the exact same thing these YT people do, and they've been doing it with gatekeeping they shit with YT supremacy. So what we talking about here? And a lot of them be on that shit. And like the people in the chat saying you black people can't be racist. Done, no, black people can't be racist. He's talking about the severe prejudice or xenophobia that come from black people towards other black people. That's what he's talking about, or towards white people.
Don't do the semantic shit with me if I did say racist. That's you right.
Yeah. They trying to nitpick these little words, man. He know what the fuck racism is, and he know black
my
people
bad.
can't be it.
Yeah, that's y'all got me on that one. Prejudice, but yeah, nonetheless, prejudice. He want to be racist. That's what it is. You want to be racist, and that's what something Cujo said. I remember the first time he said it. I said, "Ooh, that's a bar. I'm gonna take that." He ended up spamming it after that, so I can't take it. The juxtaposition of white supremacy is just as asinine as white supremacy itself. So when I talk about, I'm not bound by these concepts and constructs like y'all. Brittany, you probably understand it better than anybody, being that you got these admixtures, and it really makes you question your identity. It's like, well, nigga, I'm not just a black person. Yeah, this is the social construct they put on me, but that's not what I am. I'm a whole human. I'm not this fucking 17th, 18th century ideology. I'm not. But I understand that the game that's set up for us to play. So yeah, we be the ones pushing this shit. What blackness is, sub-Saharan African, saying we all is. But it's to have that descent. You can't, African Americans especially, and we the worst ones, and I don't know where we get this ignorance from besides our inferiority complex trying to make it sound like we just so arrogant. We don't get to judge none of this shit. We don't get to gauge none of this shit. If anybody does it, it's these white T folks. Because they the ones who define these terms. They curate these concepts. But that's why I said it's so crazy what we be doing. Because we try to make sense of it all. Here we are in race. Race don't exist. It's a concept that exists. We trying to break it down to make it make all the way sense when it wasn't. It wasn't created to make sense. It was created to subjugate our ancestors. That's it. That's literally it. Like not and not in its origins. In its origins, it was there to classify like the distinctions between the humans with Linnaeus and Blumenbach and Morton and shit. But that's what it was adapted to be. So yeah, at the end of the day, prejudice. I'm not finna sit up here and be prejudiced to some white folks all day damn long, bro. All day damn long.
And that shit blows me because it's like this, bro. People, human beings all over this planet, we know that they change just because of their environment. This white T dude that actually is in black culture, that knows hip hop, knows American black people. I mean, from the front to the back, he was there for the founding of hip hop. He can't talk on hip hop because you got some black people
Rick
saying,
Rubin.
yeah, you got black people saying, no, he can't even talk on that because you don't know nothing about that, and don't know who the fuck he is. So it's the same thing when it comes to culture. It's the same thing when it comes to African traditional religions. If you got
So you
people
get what
that
I'm
study
saying?
this, yeah, I get what you, bro. When you got people that are anthropologists that dedicated their whole life, that went into sub-Saharan Africa and other places and studied these cultures, and they are experts in this fucking field, you telling me that they can't have a fucking opinion on it, and they should stay out of black spaces? They the one that popularized it. They got you to be able to even know this shit.
Bruh, I wish I could have told OHF. OHF was here just the other day. I had a white T dude in here, bro. Y'all, let me know if anyone was in here where they remember this. I had a white T dude in here. He was trying to say like, what's like? We asked him like, what's your interest in all this? And he tried to like go on a little ramble where he didn't really answer the question. Like, no, we really trying to see like, what's your interest in this subject? So like why is you concerned, bro? We pressed them. I slaughtered a white T Christian over here. I love when they come up on here thinking, bro, many times, every time. Like every time, I'm not even lying. Every time a person of European that came up here and chopped it over me, bro, I done flamed them. Don't make me start showing videos, bro. What's the video I got with the European on the Bible? He said, "Oh, I didn't know you was gonna bring all that out. I need a familiar. A familiar is an assistant." The nigga said he needed an assistant for me. Every time these people come up on here, we flame their ass the same way. If they on some pseudo shit, if they on some misinformation, the same way I'd have had a European come up on here. I'm like. He know his history. We talking about a subject that he's informed of. It's a little Australian. Like this, what she do. Her job is to like go into different countries and study these spiritual practices. So she gonna know more than even you with just your focus on West Africa because she done been all over the world studying this shit. But no, she can't speak on it. Y'all are the FBAs of West African spirituality.
Exactly. That's what the young lady EV, when she was talking about that. Like, hold on. You mean to tell me that they can't speak on it at all? They got no, and she basically was saying, just like the rest of them, we don't want y'all in the space. Okay. She can give you probably a perspective that the people within that culture can't even give you. Or when she was giving the Korean example, if a Korean does this or says this about the sun, yeah, she probably say, hey, this is why you think this way. But then we're going to talk about it scientifically because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with real
and
objective reality.
And then they omit all the fucking continental connections we done made on this app. And like I ain't gotta explain myself because I know the people who be here, they be here. But bro, we done literally build with the continent, had conversations on how we can unite the diaspora, the distinctions that we can share, culture differences. Like y'all don't be over here to be hating on me like that. And then I don't know you. And then I always cry. I be begging. I be pleading. Keith Sweat style to have a debate with anybody who have like contention with my position. But y'all, it never, ever, ever happens. Yet I go to a live and I got 4 motherfuckers screaming at me. That's lame. That's weenie.
And that's why I stopped even going into that space because, bruh, on everything, when I said this straight up, I meant it. I say it again to anybody that's out there. A lot of those ATRs, a lot of that culture that was in West Africa, a lot of that shit is the reason why the motherfucker was able to get into West Africa and do what the fuck they did. It's because they were so divided based off of their own cultural beliefs and their own cultural religion that it allowed them to do these fucking things to other fucking people. So when it comes down to it, like even when she was talking about the Black Panther and the misogyny that was in the Black Panther, you giving anecdotal evidence because the Black Panthers didn't fucking teach that shit. They didn't care
Damn.
nothing about religion. They
That
wanted
was
religion
conflated
out of
real.
it.
I didn't like that part.
Yeah, like come on, like yes, you're gonna have males that are in any organization that's gonna practice that. And if they get in power, yeah, they're gonna practice that. But overall, Elaine Brown said it herself. How you gonna talk about that this was against black women when it was black women in power within the Black Panther Party? If they were truly misogynistic, they would have never held them seats of power. So we know what they taught, we know what their tenets were. But yes, you got some men that would have practiced misogyny. That's everywhere. We still
Everywhere.
deconstructing. We still for
What
we
hold on, what group is that not in? What group is misogyny not practicing? Because it's at your job, it's in the government, it's in your church. Stop. Like I hated that talking point, bro. That's why I said you could just put that on colonization and patriarchy in general. And then, like I say, I slaughter that shit too. I finesse that shit too. I was just on here. Listen, I just had a debate with Carolina. Was y'all here for the debate I had with Carolina? My
nah.
position was feminism, and her position was womanism. I just debated on behalf of feminism, and I'm a nigga.
See, man, what's real, what's truth, or what's objective is that's all it's about, man. I done had this in a black atheist group, bro, and I said, how in the fuck you gonna be a black atheist, right? And you gonna be fucking conservative like the Republican conservative? You gonna be a conservative Republican, but you a black atheist? That shit
And
don't make no
then,
fucking
oh yeah,
sense
we
to me.
gotta talk about that because see, they think I don't know politics because I don't talk about politics. I'll flame your ass up on politics too. The reason why I don't talk about politics is because I know about politics. And it's not on no deconstructing politics shit, but I mean when like my position, just if I was to say it in one word, is decolonize. The
Yes.
politics is part of colonization. So we would have to deconstruct, revise it in some type of way. But when it looks into like what party has, I guess what we say, general black cultures or black communities' interests at heart, that's how we vote. That's how we vote. And these people, they think it got something to check this out. This is the stupidest shit. Because the group, the FBA group, they reason to exist is supposed to be because they want to get reparations. This is coming from Claude Anderson, who was an economist. This is their whole reparations. You do not. It's one. Look, y'all go look it. Just go look it up because I'm pretty sure it's gonna say the same thing. Look up what party is automatically against reparations. Case closed. And then we can look at how we start switching into these different parties. But if we're not familiar with Rutherford B. Hayes, if we're not familiar with Goldwater, Truman, LBJ, Kennedy, then let's just hit the drawing board and just really discuss it because that's a real discussion we could have. But like I say, first thing first, you can't. These motherfuckers is not voting. The people who we be talking about, and it's a lot of people. If I pick this as a topic to take time to deconstruct, it's because I've seen more likes, responses, and comments on these type of videos than I have in anything political. So that means like pause on accelerationist and address that first, right? Address that we got. They talking about I'm so. This is what they said to me, bro. I remember some of this shit as I go. They said he's obsessed with people with low literacy rates. Bitch, why ain't you? That's the fucking problem.
I feel you,
Why the
bro.
fuck is y'all not talking about these motherfuckers can't read? We read at a fourth grade level. I talk about that. They call me a coon. It's the facts. Let me go with this motherfucking shit.
Yeah,
I'm
that shit
talking
is.
about niggas that, yes, I am. And I'm reading to them, and I'm coaxing them, and I'm holding their hand, and I practice and I use every method necessary. If a nigga need to come up on here and he need to get talked to like his absent daddy did he always wanted, I talk to him like that. If a nigga come up on here and he need to be caught and walk through it, I'll do it like that. Y'all don't want to talk to me. So I respect one of them, any of them pseudos. I respect any of them over that whole panel over there who would not allow me to get a word off and who did want to have a discourse with me. Scared of me. What type of
Man,
social assistant is Julius Nair, right? I just
I
heard
don't
him.
know who that is.
So like I said, when I look into it, y'all, I promise y'all can look into it yourself. It said the debates was the best thing. Y'all trying to make debates the bad thing now? That's nasty. I would think Tariq Nasheed would have came up with that first. Y'all trying to make debating a bad thing, talking out our differences a bad thing. If I have a difference, say with my brother Britt and brother Red, I respect their information. I have a contract. I'm not finna be. It's not no disrespect. No ad hom has to be made. Guess what? I got called a bitch. I ain't called nobody a bitch. That mean I win. In my realm of shit, that mean I win. I win. If you raise your voice crashing out, I automatically win. That's not equal to scholarship. I done said this so many times, I would easily concede to correction. Sometimes I went on live. I had set a play. I ain't gonna tell y'all who it was. I had set a play of somebody live because he was trying to have like a non-biased live. I set a play. I sent a message to him in the back in the DMs. I say, "Hey, I'm finna say some misinformation, and then just drop me after I do it." So you can be like, "Oh, even though I know the Don Dada, I fuck with the Don Dada, he's not above getting dropped." Him. I set the whole play up and ran the play through. This was my idea to push the presentation of a non-biased live. So I don't have no fucking qualms. I got on there. I was a little rowdy yesterday. Had a couple sips. She said, "Apologize to me." Nairi said, "Apologize to me." I get up on there, apologize real quick. I'm not above correction. I'm not above apologizing, bro. I'm not trying to always be right. I'm trying to get to the right information. That was my whole pursuit, is to get to the truth. I'm obsessed with niggas that can't read because we need to learn how to read. Y'all trying to like advance the culture, and we not that advanced. Try to do it. Try to see how many people follow along with that live. It's already alive. It's already alive like that. And she way better than y'all. I'm not gonna lie. She already way better than y'all. And Carolina appears on the live. This is what she stuck on. She said, "I'll follow her and Carolina." I said, "I'm not gonna lie. Y'all talking about Carolina like this, she'll watch this whole panel." And then she took that as a challenge. Said she gonna inbox her. I'm waiting on that to happen. But I've been trying to do this, y'all. I've been trying to say, like, pick a side and, and I don't know, get down to lay down shit, but obviously, it's only like the empirical truth and the misinformation rhetoric. I've been biased. But yeah, I felt that way about bro. I think, I don't know who that was on here, but I was praising little bro. I was like, yeah, he gonna be a bad motherfucker. I say, he just, you know what I'm saying? My plan was to hopefully get him in a corner, catch him late night in one of these lives, and actually address this shit. Not on no weenie ass shit. You see me pull up in a live and comment I'm a coon, and I don't get to get a word off. That shit weenie cowardice. You're not a revolutionary because that's some coward shit. I'm talking about I want to debate. Oh, fucking Khalid Muhammad would never. He would have took that shit and bodied my ass, even if I was wrong.
Man, and by you even going at Khalid like that, I already know it sparked some feelings, bro. Because they look,
That's what I'm here for.
we do this too often with our black leaders or with our black idols and stuff, man. They get to the point like they above reproach. Khalid isn't above reproach. None of them are. And I love a lot of shit about Khalid, but if he would he got on Elijah Muhammad, oh, we know we ain't gonna agree. We definitely not gonna agree. And he would have probably got mad, and the way he do shit, he ain't gonna cuss. He would do it in another way. But you would definitely see he angry as fuck if I talk about it. But they kicked his ass up out of there. Why? Because he knew some shit was going on.
Mm-hmm.
He knew. But yeah, these people ain't above reproach. Nobody is. If you come out of pocket and you up here talking the way you talk, yeah, anybody can get checked on the information. I done got checked plenty of times. But I ain't finna sit back and go with the real disrespect, and I ain't finna come back on it.
And I'm never disrespecting these people. That Tariq, she was up on here the other day. I didn't say nothing about his wife. I say nothing about his personal life. I say nothing about his personal endeavors. Don't give a fuck about it. Never did that with none of these people. We be talking about, bruh, Nawabians. I never brought that shit up. And I got the evidence. I got the same records that's on the internet, that's on the site. Elijah, I never talk about that shit. I never talk about these kids. I never talk about nothing personal. I straight up address the misinformation every time. I'm cognizant too, because I know how people is. That's why I'm cognizant not to put my face on here, because I know these people crash out behind their emotional connections. Oh yeah, and that's why I say that's what I do. Not only these for the pseudos. When I put well, y'all don't even know. If y'all only knew I wanted to put some people over here that would really make y'all mad. But I'm not fucking, and this is not Harriet Tubman, because I'm finna say Harriet Tubman, but I'm not Dan Calloway saying they don't exist. You know what I'm saying? But y'all talking about we. All right, appreciate you coming up here, FMB. You want to tap into this backdrop for us? We just on here chatting. Oh, what I really didn't put y'all on was really that wasn't even the highlight of the day. The highlight of the day is how and shout out to my sis, because Carolina the one who came through for me and recorded this clip. None of the niggas came through for me. Now let me stop, y'all. Let me stop. I can't play like that today. But now Carolina came through and recorded me. I fried Yazoo Judah, fried flame boil fricassee. Man, oh wait till she send me this email. Oh, y'all gonna love it. You gonna love it. Yazoo Judah had him up there sounding like a normal pseudo, y'all. Stammering. I got him stuttering so bad, bro. I gave the dude a speech impediment.
I got to see that.
Yeah, that was the highlight. But yeah, Carolina.
I see the message go across my screen. Somebody record this, but I was driving.
I had already had it in the queue because he was talking all this shit. He talking like he me. He talking like none of the teachers want to debate me. And he said, they ain't got, I said, ooh, my petty ass was really finna screenshot both of the times because he had me waiting in the queue for 30 minutes. I said, man, so I already had the message ready. I said, as soon as he accepts this shit, I'm finna share it with everybody. We finna all see this. So yeah, she recorded. I'm probably gonna clip it, but I'm probably gonna make a YouTube video because I was over there. I was on his ass for about 50 minutes. Spank, BTA, spank. And yeah, just like that, for example. So no, I'm not just debunking the pretendians. He's one of the main, bro. He got a cult-like following. I don't know how many followers he got, but I know I see his face on this damn app too long.
Dog, that shit is insane, bro. He been at this shit for years. Bro.
Mm-hmm.
He living off of them people, bro. Them people he got, them saints he claimed, bro. He getting money from them niggas, bro. Like,
Y'all they done fucked up fucking with me. Y'all don't understand how petty I am. I'm not gonna forget about that bullshit. I can't even celebrate that shit, but I ain't gonna lie, that shit was so bad for him. He did
that
it
boy
so bad.
Judah been running. He been running, like, cause we didn't when we first
Okay,
seen
I
him
missed
like
it.
a couple years ago on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, on TikTok. Like we did a deep dive on his ass. Before he was any type of spiritual leader, he thought he was Moses first.
So he went to Moses, then the prophet.
Exactly. So we got we got the sources on that from his YouTube page. So it's sad. These people just still running around and he done got a huge following, just like you said, because nobody's willing to challenge him on the information, bro. Nobody's
Sleep,
like, you know what I'm saying, or you know, but
sleep. Remember another thing too. Remember when they started saying that he didn't have no parents when he first came out. He didn't
yeah,
have
he
no
did try
mother
to
and
pull that with
father.
us. He did. He
Yeah, he
tried to
tried to
pull that
pull.
shit with
Yeah,
us too.
he literally tried to pull like he was really like this person that came from God, like he came from the
Yeah, he
heavens.
tried to pull the Christ
No
card.
mother,
Like,
no father.
Bruh.
Yeah,
my thing is, how you Christ
no
with a money
bullshit,
over
man.
bitches tattoo? Like, how does that work?
Bruh, I literally debunked him on like 7 different topics. This is how I know, because I gave him a free one, then I started counting. Then he struck out 3 times. Then he put the girl on. Then she struck out 3 times. And then I said, I'm gonna give you one more before I go. Y'all know I was handling him like talking super crazy whole time. Well, no, I'm talking
Exactly.
like just arrogant but poised. I'm not
Shit
really
is you. Shit, you got to.
yeah. But I gotta switch it up every now. I don't want to just get dropped over
Yeah.
there. But man, oh my god, wait till y'all see it. Y'all gonna love it. But yeah, I said, man, he's striking out everything you say. Everything he was saying. He talked about the Ethiopians having
Uh-huh.
Christianity first. I got straight to Frumentius. Straight to Frumentius. He said, he said that's the oldest Bible. I took him straight to the Dead Sea Scrolls. I said, man, you 600 years old. Everything he was saying, chopping it up
Got
real
cooked.
time.
He got cooked, bro. He can. That's why he don't like. That's why his lackey, bro. I got into it with his lackey before I start teaching on like Monday, because I was scroll. You know, I'll be on TikTok early in the morning, trying to see what I can see. And shit, you know, one of his like little lackeys was trying to get me, just trying to brainwash a nigga, basically. So I just wanted some information to see what they was about. So I played the role. I'm still waiting on that information right now. So once I get it, I'm about to go through it and cook him, because this is bad, bro. This is bad, and you got people that's in his camp saying that he requires some type of financial. This is a big spiritual grift. Like, this shit is crazy to me. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that, because I went over there and cooked them niggas. So, but Yaju Judah don't even let me up on his panel no more.
Yeah, before I got up there, he was like, I can hear him talking to the girl, like how many followers he got. Yeah. So they seen the little bitty followers. They was like, oh yeah, he got a little bitty follower. Bring him up. They
Mm-hmm.
thought it was sweet. See,
Mm-hmm.
man,
Cooking boy.
son, I hate that. I hate that people look at shit like that, y'all.
Right, hell yeah, they do.
But I just can't. I just can't buy followers. I'm just refused to buy followers. And the only reason I say that is, the other page, I would have been, good with all that shit. And the only reason I say it because people reference it all the time. They always want to look at that shit like it matter. I think I told you the girl was talking about y'all follow me, y'all follow me. So if I unfollow you, what that mean? You wrong? You dead to the wrong? But yeah, that's why I said. Excuse that noise. But that's why I said I was shouting out Red because I be seeing his ass everywhere. I be going on these lives and I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta go to all these different lives where everybody got their own little information because I'm gonna be strict. I'm just gonna be strict. There ain't no lies, ain't no half line, ain't no cherry picking what's the truth or not. It's the whole
Oh,
truth and nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth.
that nigga
Oh,
red like
I
Batman.
go on
He be
lives,
everywhere.
but I ain't like motherfucking was it Uncle Leroy and sometimes OHF and teaching. Them motherfuckers go to the trenches.
Yeah,
I get mad when I see them over there.
Yeah, they
I,
go in the pits of hell.
They love away games,
they,
but I love away games too, though. Red, like the away games be
nah,
fun.
no. They go in the depths. Matter of fact, who was that? Diamond. It was matter of fact, it was, and Pseudo too. It was Pseudo said he accidentally got pulled over there because Diamond sent
No,
the
Leroy,
invite.
Leroy go in there on purpose.
Leroy go in there
Solo.
intentionally. I be like, I go in there, I be like, God dang, it's about 20 of them just cussing Leroy out. Hey,
In
you
the
know what
middle
I
of the
do
night too,
too?
it'd be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning,
Hey,
or 3
I
o'clock.
never spend money on TikTok, but when I see Leroy and them pages, I'll put $10 on TikTok right quick. Drop Leroy a Galaxy. They be like,
Oh, I was up
block.
there. I was there that day. That shit was so far. That was
Hey,
fly.
they get so mad. Who the hell gifted Leroy? Oh, that's Red Punk head. Block him. Because they equate gifting with winning.
Mm-hmm.
So when you drop a
Yep.
Galaxy on somebody from outside, they get so goddamn mad.
Yeah, and it's sad too. That's how they feel like if they win tonight, somebody gift them more.
And
Well, I
that's
mean, but
that go against like the textbook pseudoism. Like,
But have you heard
oh
what
yeah,
they
you
said though,
right, Rail.
Sleepy?
Hey,
Sleepy, you heard
Kojo
they
do too,
said?
man.
They be like outside gift us, y'all side don't gift y'all. Like what
that's
the
what I'm
hell they
saying.
got to do with
It's like
information?
textbook. Like, okay, it's not about the information. It's about how loud we are in the debate. Whoever's
Hey,
louder is winning.
we
So
gotta give shots out to Kojo too. Kojo be going in there in depths too, man.
Coach be going crazy.
Kojo be killing me too. He got the same stage. Come on, man. Who told you that?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you that?
He went at it with paperwork. He went at it with paperwork the other day. That was crazy.
But I'm still getting back into the swing of the push. I've been gone for too long.
Man, I can't even eat, man. I'm up here. I'm hungry as hell too, Britt, but I can't even eat. This shit got me so bad. I ain't even put in my order yet.
What happened? What I missed?
Motherfucking Lil Shaka called me a coon.
Lil Shaka? Oh, no. No, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nah, bro.
Then I fell for the bait. Went up there thinking I'm finna like have a conversation. I got jumped by the panel. They up there, they would treat me like it reminded me when I was over there getting cussed out by Halo.
Wait,
That's all that
hold
happened. But
hold on.
you good, sis. Yeah, that's all that happened.
I'm thinking
Like I
we
said,
all on the same
I was just
side.
talking about it. I don't
Down
know
that,
how.
down that. I'm thinking we all on the same side. What was the argument?
So the argument was, come to find out I was a coon because I think he said he made a reference to something that once again I'm not aware of, but Carolina is speaking on African ritual traditions or some shit like that. And yeah, I guess she can't speak on it because she's not black. And I said, yes, she can.
Huh?
And then I think I said an analogy like, yeah, so that means I can't debunk the Hebrew Israelites because I'm not Palestinian, I'm not Lebanese.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that though. I don't like that. That's
But like I
weird.
said, we all know Carolina. We know she's not disrespectful. So anything she said, it was definitely scholarly. It was
Yeah, it's
historically
information
accurate.
based.
Yeah, so
So
Doc,
I don't gatekeep
you
that type
don't
of thing.
remember the Uncle Leroy incident with him and Shaka?
hold on 1 second. I can't hear what this damn traffic. Hold on.
Hey man, that's. I'm just hold on. I'm gonna hold my thoughts. But nah,
This
that's
goes
bro
back a
personal.
little bit. This had started. Remember when we had it out about the spiritual? Because Carolina was here. It was me, you, Carolina, and I think somebody else.
Oh, you talking about?
And
So this was when we was talking to Leroy.
yeah. Remember they came in and they both Leroy came in first, and then he came in afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember. Remember him coming in.
That's when he first started. I guess that's the first time that I remember us having like or even having some
So this,
contact with
so
him.
Lil Shaka, but see, I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing to Shaka though. I mean, I guess that's not the point. The point is that the Carolina's on the line. Yeah, I just disagree with that, bro. I think that logic is 100% the same. I'm not Israelite. I'm not of Jewish descent, but I can easily, research the history and deconstruct it. That's okay. Trying to cherry pick just because somebody is a different ethnic group, that's weird and not relevant. We talking about information. We're not talking about nobody being like prejudiced, hateful, negative, any kind of way. So
That's the same thing as like an ad hom to me. Like, why are you just like not focused on the information one is presenting? Why are you worried about the presenter? Like, I never understood it. And my thing is, it just
That's not how bro be running his lives though.
really
Yeah, that's not how he running his lives. He be calling folks cracker.
interesting.
he call folks cracker and shit, but yeah, he'll crash out
and
for
that's what I
sure.
don't understand. Like they Carolina and Lil Shaka, the most racist people I know on this app against white people. They probably got more in common than they know. I don't know what nobody who openly like despise these people of European descent more than them two. No one outside of them two can I start naming, bro.
Yeah, Shaka do be. Hey, he be tweaked out. So,
Yeah, see, that's what. Look, the first thing when you're approaching a conversation is you got to try to figure out the person's bias because everybody's going to have a bias. That's just psychological. So I tell everybody my bias is the truth. I'm gonna be biased to the truth, and I'm not gonna waver from it. And that's why shit. Everybody don't align with that. Sometimes people's feelings get in the way. So what's the bias? He obviously got he fell deep into them studies. He may have a personal experience. His location that may have part to do with all this shit matters. But at the end of the day, like I say, I ain't been around them. I've been around niggas, so I ain't been around them white folks to have no experience with them where they give me no opportunity to crash.
yeah,
So what's your definition? Because he a black nationalist.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a black nationalist. FBA is a black nationalist.
I mean, they some coons. They just coons,
They
bro.
still black nationalists though. That's what a coon is. Like this what once again what
Let me
Cujo
not put
said. I
labels
love
on
it.
him. I take that back.
The juxtaposition of white supremacy is just as asinine as white supremacy itself. I love that, bro. Sorry to bite my brother, but that shit hard. So what? So this is why I like Pan Africanism because it's one of the one for show ideologies that I know is just black. It's solid black. Europeans ain't trying to go back to Europe. Nobody has this ideology. This is a unique ideology that's from black people to unite with the whole diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Like all the other shit come from white people. So all you doing is doing what they trying to do. So they white T nationalists. You want to be a black nationalist?
I mean, I
No,
wouldn't
bro.
consider
In
FBA black
600
nationalists. They
feet,
don't even like
turn
other
left onto Bobby
niggas.
Dodd Way Northwest.
Hold on, say it again.
They don't even like other niggas. FBA don't.
And like, don't get me wrong. Like, if it comes
At the light,
when it
turn.
comes to like our autonomy and all that shit, our self determination, all that shit good. But you gotta understand, these people be trying to talk about like sovereignty in essence, or I don't know. We have to look into it what it is, but from my understanding, that's what it is. But as far as that other shit, I'm down with all the positives and everything. But it's when shit come in. It's really when some shit come in that can get me locked up. That's when I say, nah, I ain't saying that shit because they already listening to all of us. for just being critical thinkers. So I'm me just up here saying I'm a revolutionary radical. Like that's why I say this nigga gonna get y'all rounded up. He don't know enough to know that to not say certain type of words. So you nigga miss your words. Know that first. How you studied all these people, but you ain't learned that.
That's what I'm, and that's like I said, he a young guy, and so when I see him, like, cause he used to
Does
be
that make
like,
sense though? How you studied
no, you're
improvement? How
not,
you studied
you're
improvement,
not on no
but
BS, Don. You're not on no BS, bro. Because like we used to try to tell him all the time, bro. Like
if I
this is
get
not.
assassinated, niggas ain't gonna do shit.
That's what I'm saying. This is not in person. You like this. You got to be strategic about your word placement. You know what I'm saying? Because in the event you do get any type of notoriety and people want to hear you speak, fool, you putting you doing a big disservice to yourself from
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 the
a from,
jump.
from a huge standpoint. Because these people not playing no games. Well, like, huh? These
Yeah,
people
like
not.
don't get me wrong. Maybe I think that's why I liked him because listening to him, it was nostalgic. It was like making me, don't you want to be in one of them Khalid, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King lectures where you can hear how emotionally invoked he is about his shit. Yeah, I do love it hearing bro speak when he get on that shit. It make me want to squabble. It make me do want to fight behind this shit.
That's a
But
fact.
that's not what we need to do though.
That's a
From my
fact as
opinion, that's
well.
not what we need to do. The time when we could have did that has passed. Technology is way too advanced. So now we got to take the educational path. I
Now,
hate to say that.
and that's the part that people be trying to like, disown, but that's why scholarship will forever be important because we're living in the information era. So what do we look like not being masters of information? What do we look like?
But that's also the point where a lot of people got a lot of contention with, right? Like, what's the avenue that we go about bettering ourselves as a culture, as a race? And I
And
was like, education, how can you do anything? And look, I play basketball. In basketball, they got what's called the triple threat. Any of y'all familiar with basketball, y'all know what the triple threat is. You just you don't know what the fuck you finna do with the ball. If you don't know how to play ball, you don't know what the fuck you finna do. Your first thing you do, you travel, you carry, you double. So a triple threat is like you get the ball and you make the decision if you wanna pass, if you wanna shoot, or if you wanna pivot. Like,
literally,
but you got to be educated to know what you want to do. You just can't come out here and start doing shit. That's why I like what he said. The acceleration is you can't try to move too fast. You don't know where you hell you going. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to drive.
Who said something about acceleration is? I like that though.
Yeah, that was Britain. Britain, he gonna come back up.
Oh, Britain. Yeah, a lot of niggas is accelerationists. Once they get the ring theory.
it's just overzealousness, bro, and it's like it's a good spirit behind it, but like I said, like we gotta build and plan infrastructure before anything. And like the only way that you can get infrastructure is by being the master of what's happening in your current environment. And the only way you can do that is by educating yourself on the infrastructures that surround you in order to have a fight or a say so in a system where you have nothing. So I think that like people I don't know, we also live in like a very, very anti-intellectual era. So the struggle of that alone is like, it's it's negative meeting the positive, and we got to do more work so it don't cancel each other out. So that's where my head is on it. But like everybody, like there's gonna be a space for all the shit that he want. Because sitting with him and talking with him, all he want is liberation. All he want is freedom. And my guy is like, it's just we not there yet. We not there. And what's not gonna get us there is sitting up here and trying to play the poke the bear game. That's that's not the game we want to play right now.
I don't
Because
want to play that game. I don't want to be part of that. I'm telling y'all, look, they not gonna ride. I don't even want to say nothing hypothetical, but they not gonna ride if something happened today. They
and
gonna
that's
they
what I'm
gonna they
saying.
gonna they gonna loot. They gonna loot. So that's what it is. If some people put their neck out, start crashing out, acting like that was the solution, acting like starting up. No, and then like I say, I would love to have that discussion. What's the proper way to it? It's no way outside of education. What are you gonna do before you get educated? What are you gonna do before you unite the people to get educated and like to come up with a common ideology, a common perspective, and unite as one culture? You can't really do that. We still got to argue with people who don't know what black is.
Yes, the
Yeah,
education is not gonna.
I hate it too, bro. Y'all
You can't
think
escape it though. Like, and that's the
Hell
part.
yeah, nigga, that shit.
Somebody commented my shit. They say, "Oh, I know you be tired." They say, I say, "Yeah, I do be tired." But we all be tired. But we don't give up. We know what we doing. We know we know what it is, bro. We know nobody was there. We know the No Child Left Behind. We know the statistics. We know the history. We know the history. Like, even I looked at my family. This is what made me do it. I said, "Damn, I still got a lot of psych patients in my family."
No, for real.
I had to look at myself. I said, "Hold on,
Are we okay?
am I cool even?"
No, dead ass though, bro.
So you got to address it. But guess what helped? Education. That's what empowered me. I can't just be going on around here acting like I'm like fake Debo. No, I actually got to be empowered. I actually got to know some shit. I actually got to be able to swing my weight around. So I'm not doing this for no reason. But
And a lot of people get lost in like the they think it's the ego behind the information, and really no. Like people that understand that edification and people understand having a good understanding of the things that they speak of is gonna lead to better ideas. Like people just get lost in the feeling behind it. Like, oh, this nigga think he know he talking about more than everybody else, and that don't even be the fact. That don't even be the facts. So of course, we in that era where we gotta entertain to educate, but chat it's necessary. Like the education is necessary because if not, we just gonna be we gonna be like this for the foreseeable future. And I can almost guarantee we hate what we don't like what we see. So either we gonna buck up and get it done through the education, or we gonna see ourselves crumble. That's just what it is. We're at that point where there's no turning back because we can't be behind the technological 8 ball. There's no being behind this particular one. So either we be in the infrastructure of technology, or we see ourselves crumble because of it. That's where we're at. And the only way to solve this is education. Sorry.
We got to do the work, y'all. There's no shortcut. I
If
wish
there
it
was
was a
another way,
shortcut.
bro, what? We be there.
I wish we could just go to Home Depot and pay motherfuckers $200, bro, but we can't. We got to do the work ourselves.
We can't, bro. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, of course we love the Malcolms, bro. Of course we love what he stood for. But there's a way there's a way for you to move like that in this system that these people built. But it ain't the same way he did it. It can't be like that no more. And like I said, these people, these big 3-letter agencies is looking for one Black Messiah. They're not looking for millions. They're not looking for hundreds of thousands. They're looking for one. And you want to give them that one by by letting your ego fall into it instead of spreading the information so that you can create more of yourself. So we got to be better from being able to hear standpoints, because if not, we get in these type of situations where powerful Black minds is at odds because of information and who's presenting information.
My point, yeah, them my sentiments, brother. Them my sentiments exactly. Like, the education don't come from echo chambers. It don't come from getting mad and dropping people. I hate to say it. I drop a lot of people. I block a lot of people. I can tell you exactly why. It's not because they have a position that counters mine and I don't want to hear them out. Nigga, we do the most of the hearing out when we're not even supposed to, just for the sake of argument. Just because I want that shared respect. But we have to address this. We have to be willing to have these conversations. We can't be thinking that's cute to not. Hold on, actually, let me mute you, Sleep, because I think that's you with the echo. Yeah, my bad, brother. Just got an echo. Yeah, we can't be thinking that shit cool. We can't be co-signing that shit. We can't be aligning that shit. We can't be aligned with, I'm not gonna lie, we can't be aligned with racism, bruh. Like, we can understand what actually is going on, but if that's what's going on, why would you want to mirror these people? If that shit's disgusting, why would you want to practice something that they use? You see what I'm saying?
I fully understand what you mean, and that's why people get lost when people scream Black Power, right? Because they immediately think, right, that it's the exact same thing as the colonizer, and some Black folk get lost in that sentiment, right, of it being about Black Power, so it has to look the same as the other power. No, that's not that. No, that's never been the
Look at it
project
like
of Black Power.
supremacy, yeah.
That's never Black Power has never been any shape, way, or form to mirror white supremacy ever. And I think that because of that, like because of the anger that people go through, we are so removed from that. We're so removed from it. And my thing is, what's the difference at a certain point? You disguise like you're disgusted by this colonizer so much you become it. You adopt it. And I'll never be able to get it. I'll never be able
Yeah,
to get it.
that's the hard part, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, how do you even do it? I remember I had a whole mind fuck thinking about it. Like, damn, how do we really, as a people, as a people who've been like, just say kidnapped by this culture? How do you like have your own perspectives? How do you have your own ideologies? How do you have your own epistemology? You see what I'm saying? Without having to adopt theirs. So that's why even when I say with the FBAs and how they take the Great Replacement theory and adopt that subconsciously, they don't know that. But it's a word in it's either Du Bois or one of them other teachers. They got this word that's called concomitance, and it's the same thing. It's like in your proximity to these people, what you pick up from them it's just natural, and that's one of them things. And that janky ass hate is what y'all picked up for them, and y'all just flipped the mirror. But yeah, like I said, I don't gotta do that. That shit's weird. I don't gotta. Only thing that I really hate, because they be loving to call me a hater, I do hate the misinformation. And then I hate the echo chambers who don't want to debate it.
Yeah, I hate that also because that creates nothing but rhetoric. If you are having a platform where people come to speak their minds and you do not and you can't come to an agreement scholarly, right? What's the difference between us and the pretending at that point? What's the difference?
See, what I'm looking at is that so it's okay for her to fight for black and brown rights, but it's not okay for her to talk about it, is what I'm trying to understand. Because
Yeah, I wish I would have said that.
Carolina literally got videos where she's in the courts, she's in these places fighting for black and brown rights. You understand? This is literally her go-to at the end of the day. But the most I can tell Carolina, if she isn't here, stick to the lives that accept you. The ones that don't want you, just stay away from them. Because
And,
obviously they don't know
And let
what
me
you
know,
do.
who they is too, because I ain't fucking with them either.
and my
Yeah,
thing
do
is,
that.
bro, and this is what happens when we
At the
get
end of the day,
confused with.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. There's times where we just on this app talking about this shit, and she's in the courts dealing with this shit. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I fucks with her. That's why anytime I go live, I accept her on my live because I know exactly what it is she do.
That's a
So,
fact.
so it's okay for her to fight for it, but it's not okay for her to talk about it.
And my thing is,
You know what I'm saying?
this is where we
Sleepy,
get lost in like
Sleepy.
internet activism, bro. In
Hey,
my
Sleepy,
opinion,
Sleepy, turn your phone away from whatever it is facing.
my
The
phone's on my.
reverb is bouncing back into it.
We good?
Testing.
Test.
Well, it ain't gonna come from you, but go ahead, keep going.
All right, but my thing is this, guys. Like, this is where internet activism is very, very dangerous, right? Because we get on these soapboxes that are created by these people who love what you have to say, right? And then we end up shooting ourselves in the proverbial foot because here we like you just got done saying, she got dead videos of her fighting for not only herself but for us as well. And we sit up here trying to tell this person that they're unable to talk about anything, even though they're outside fighting the good fight. But you are on the internet and you've yet to make any impact in your particular neighborhood. And this is not a shot at nobody, but people are good for this. So my thing is, we got to really look at who we are before we decide that we want to decide who can present information. Like, my thing is, it's getting to the point where we hide behind the activism, but when it's time to get active for real, we go to our phones. So it's multifaceted, but I think that the way that one handled it is just does more harm than it does good, bro. It does more harm than it does good.
Yeah, no, that's the best point. That's the realest point for sure. I didn't even talk about that shit, but at the end of the day, it's like I was just flabbergasted, bro. I was taken aback. Didn't know that's what time and people was on. You go through here, you so direct, you so frank and blunt about your position. It's like you would think if somebody had something to say about you, they would say it to you. Right, I guess like hit you in the DMs, you know what I'm saying? But You never know. People running around here with animosity towards you. Whole time. That shit crazy.
I promise, bro. And I don't know. I try to remain neutral. I try to remain, you know what I'm saying? What's the word? Like, just observant. Because shoot, I like studying this landscape is important because it's just going to repeat itself over and over. And if we can better, like the internet is going to be something that's going to be used for our liberation, and that's the point blank. There's no running from this. So the communities that we build through this needs to have some type of character in them. You know what I mean? From an agreeable standpoint, and so it just gets not scary, bro, but it gets like disheartening to see how certain folks treat other folks because they don't look like they're supposed to be fighting.
Not gonna lie, that shit ain't never gonna pop off. That shit ain't never gonna go nowhere. All that hateful shit, that shit maxed out. People ain't on that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. We just have to keep it a whole big. And then, like Brent was said, if you recognize like the truth of it, go get a DNA test. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna have some of these people have mixtures, but we gotta suppress that. I know a lot of people's hires and other people they may feel like that's a flex and shit like that, but at the end of the day, we African Americans. And we gotta stop the weird shit. Stop trying to gatekeep what this shit mean. It's so easy, bro. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not lying right now. It's so easy to get on code. People just weird, and I hate to use that word so loosely, but that's what it is. People, the way they upbringing was, how it came to be, like they experiences, how it affected them, like they genetic makeup, all this shit matters, and people come out weird, fucked up. That nigga Columbus said, "There's no monsters here as one would expect." He was talking about deformities. That's what he was talking about. How it is, and over there, where they was in a country where they were fucking on they relatives and cousins. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these people is used to in that shit, in PTSD, in the slave trade, in epigenetics, in everything that our ancestors had to do, which still reside in our genetic makeup. It's not just you look like this motherfucker or you a drunk like your daddy. It's everything in your ancestors come together. And yeah, follow along with the bullshit. It's not one of the things that I can ever do, bro. And like I say, it just to me it's so easy. But this is what I see when I looked at the internet. I was like, once again, me being lazy, looking for somebody else to you know what I'm saying, do the work. I look at it because I own up to that. That's why I'm able to project it and know from that perspective. That's what a lot of people are doing. We looking to find out, like, oh, Jasmine Crockett, oh yeah, let me praise her, let me glaze her. Never step outside to try to even see the lady. You know what I'm saying? Never go even vote for the woman. You know what I'm saying? But revere online. And yeah, I think shit like that, you know, use these platforms for what they can do, can be if you have a voice. But yeah, that's ultimately what it was. I was like, nah, fuck that shit. I got a voice. And then in comparison, and I know a lot of the fellas can attest to this shit. A lot of these people getting off with this misinformation is super lame, super weenie. There's no way I'm finna let y'all be out here like y'all the charismatic content creator influencers just being able to spread this misinformation without me even coming on here and making an attempt. That's, to me, that's cowardice of me because I know better. No, I feel obligated sometimes to do this shit. I know what's going on. Yeah, man. I don't like I say, for anybody to have beef with what I'm doing, with my approach, you weird, and it's proof when you not able to have a discussion with me. Cause I can have a discussion with anybody and will. And I implore that. That's what my live is about. Have discussions, debate about it, bring the evidence forward. It's not, nobody getting no prize for this. I'm never taking no score for this. I just know niggas don't want debate. That's one thing I found out. Niggas don't want to do that. They're like, so that's what I'm saying. That what that is in the street world, we got beef, but you don't want to squabble. You want to try to catch me slipping and pop my top. And that's what the black culture done for too long. That's emotional lame shit. And that's what I got from that live. Emotional rhetoric, crash out. We tired of emotional shit. Yeah, I did trigger you when I made the Khalid Mohammed video, but that's because you emotional, susceptible to be triggered. And that's one thing you got to be able to remove your emotions when it comes to critical thinking. It don't say nothing about how the fuck you feel. It don't say nothing about what make you feel good in there. I
The
promise.
least to do it would make you feel good.
Look it up. It don't say nothing about feels, emotions. So it's easy for me to separate. You know, and when it comes to the West African spiritual traditional shit, they took them shits from my ancestors any the fuck way. So I don't have that connection. And yes, I'm pissed off about it. So that's why it's easy for me to say, you know, it's not legit anyway. And we know it's not legit. I'm not saying like the culture is not neat, not saying there's some valuable information didn't come from it. I'm not saying none of that. But I'm saying as far as what I'm pushing, being like productive, being practical is most important that we use and spend our limited time on this earth wisely. And that's not doing nothing that's not based on anything scientifically, empirically productive. I be thinking I'll be making sense, bro, but I gotta be crazy. Cause I gotta be crazy. We all gotta be the few crazy.
I only came up here for one reason, and that's the remark that you made, Dundada, about, you know what I'm saying, being a majority West African. Listen, I want my reparations check to be based on my admixes. Listen, man. Listen, I think that it should go by blood quantum. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. I just know that my check is gonna be something special, you know?
And it's so easy to do. They say, let's say what the general payout will be, say it's gonna be $750,000, $500,000 to do easy math, $400,000 to do easy math. Let's say you 75%. There you go. 75%. It's so easy. Let's
No,
go.
but
Not like that. It's too easy.
Dundada, I'm 95% Dundada. I want all the money.
You getting the money? Actually,
I'm just fucking with you.
No, that's right too. Hold on, I'll take that back. If y'all got admixtures, but they like from a force, from something that's not consensuous, yeah, you get that. You get that. So we gotta look at it like that. That's a part of it. Like,
absolutely,
he took that.
Nah, I was just doing that to break the ice. I get you. I understand you. Y'all already know what's been happening with several of us on this app. It's just weird. It's just weird time, man. It's all coming from supposed to be our side too, but it is what it is. When you know what it is, I just wanted to say to you, you know, everything that you're saying is right. And to walk this particular path is a lonely one. Always remember that. People who have strong conviction have to understand that you're going to be by yourself. And a lot of times you will find people along the way that that you can develop camaraderie with, you know, that you can develop with, you know, and have those particular close relationships with, and that's good. You know, hold on to that. But a lot of the times too, you gotta remember, not everybody. You can't expect you from everybody. Can't. Your level of integrity and character and all that, you gotta remember that's you. That's not the other person.
That's
So
real
when
talk,
people
Tika.
show,
I've been waiting for Red to show his true colors. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting.
For me?
you know, Brand is mostly European, so
For me? No, so
we are.
I am definitely the Lone Ranger. I learned that from a youth. I mean, like I say, imagine me being like this at 10, 11 years old. I've always been like this. When the kids was talking about Africans, I was like, we Africans. They was like, what? I'm like, we African. I've been like this since I was a little boy. When I joined the military, I had my idea of what was right and wrong. Like the hierarchy in the military, they hung with each other. I stayed by myself. I stood up for the women in my unit. I stood up for the black people in my unit. The black people in my unit didn't even understand it at the time. They called me coon because I didn't let them do things that were out of pocket and embarrassing to the black people. They wanted to stand in front of the commander's office and call each other the N-word. And then when I called them on this, well, the commander didn't say nothing. And of course, the commander would be a white T guy. And I'm like, of course, he's not gonna tell you your ignorance is ignorance. He didn't went home. Well, he didn't got with another white T officer and said, "Look at him. That's what we expect." I'm gonna make sure you better. I mean, because we got to be 10 times faster, 10 times smarter, to shoot or pew pew 10 times better. So yeah, and then but these guys years later, contact me and say, "Hey, you know what, son? I'm glad I have met you. Because of you, I started a business when I got out the military. I took the knowledge you gave me. I did this and did that. I've always been different. I've always been a loner."
It's all right, man.
Yeah, it's lit. It's lit because what it does
It's lit.
is it makes you don't need the validation. That's what T said. Like, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all even more so because of that. Because I know how hard it is to run across people like that. Uh, and I say it every time, and that's what I said it when a couple times I come over here. I said that's what I want. I do it for. I want more friends. I said that, but we can't have friends. We can't be friends with pretendians. I want to unite, but we can't unite with big head Yaku believers.
I mean, each one to tell you. I done been on conferences with each one and others, and we done went word battles because I believe what I believe and I act the way I act. I mean, but they still my friends. Um, the thing is that what who I consider us, and that's what trips me out. Who I consider us and who I consider we varies from what other people consider who is us and who is we. Because
Mhm.
when I look out and I see us and we, I'm looking through the diaspora. I'm looking throughout the diaspora. Who's the us and who the we? And some of them people, whether they be continental Africans, whether they be people from the Caribbean, or
Mhm.
people from the Americas, or even Europe, some of them are not us and they're not the we. And so we is not limited to my geographical location. But that does not take away from me being a proud African American. And I think people get that confused. I think that's very confused. This whole ethnic pride thing is getting ridiculous because I dare you say that I'm not a proud African American, but I'm a proud African. And that trumps being African American.
We know, Red. And you go hard for that 60%, and I appreciate you every single time.
60. 60 is like 71. 71. But yeah, I mean, like that's what's important because but the thing is that the same people that'll say you have no ethnic pride, they don't catch me in these African spaces. And I'm the only African American on the panel, and I'm going head to head with continental Africans that want to hold on to their tribalism. I'm against that shit too. I call them out on that. You don't understand because you're from America, and I have a right to hate this other demographic of blackness because it's always been that way. And I'm like, no, that's a cop out. You guys are full of shit too. I'm supposed
Yeah,
to.
that's come on.
I mean,
But
but it's
that's how
our
you know that
responsibility.
you're
It,
true. Yeah,
it's our
that's true
Pan
Pan
Africanism was
Africanism, man.
born
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
diaspora. It's our business to take it back to Africa and teach it to them.
yeah,
And drag them kicking and screaming on the righteous path. If your Islam and your Christianity come before you are African, oh you's got to be schooled, or you got to be casted out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. So
Big
to
facts.
say cool is like in contrast to that, and that's all that I'm on. In education, the first thing it's like you got people out here who's like subconsciously on code, right? There's no real code for people to be on. They just know, okay, I'll be black, I support black, I love black, and that's what it is. But there's no It's nothing just stamped. It's nothing we can go look at. It's nothing we can memorize. You know what I'm saying? What to be on code is. So I see why it kind of varies for what it means to people because it don't have a specific meaning. But yeah, if you black first, you black first. I seen a girl on Instagram. She had on a hijab. She was up in Philly. That hijab was fitting her so good. I said, "Ooh," I said, "You know, she black first. Body going crazy. She had to show it off. That's black." Yeah, she black first, and I think what a lot of people we don't understand. Like, I mean, like for me, I'm gonna be true first. I'm gonna be the truthful first. I'm not finna let you just say you just finna dry ass pull a black card and you lying, and I gotta ride with you in a lie because it gotta be based in something real. I feel like we've been doing that for so long, and that's giving us faulty foundations that we could never build on. Once we say that. Put that in the code. Then we gonna be truthful and real and honest and have integrities and morals and all that shit then everybody can align. I remember one time it was something. It was like we was finna use something. It was like shit, we need to use that shit anyway. I was like, nah, we can't use that. It come out to have some pseudo shit associated. Even what I did with the Black Heritage flag, I had been through that information. I was just pissed off that day. I had been through that. I've been wanting to say that when I first did my research on it, but I was like, nah, I'm up here playing buddy ball, being cool. Oh no, I think I may know somebody who's a mutual who got that flag and they shit. Instead of just being like, yeah, that shit got it got Moors references in it. Why do we need to reference Moors if we talking about black people when Moors is North African and we Sub-Saharan African? So easy. So easy. Just put some metallurgy in there or something. Put something to represent our people. I'll be cool with it, I promise you. But as long as it got any misinformation attached to it, I'm gonna nitpick.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the problem too. It's like, truth tellers. And sometimes what that means is that you ruffle feathers, right? And everybody want things to be smooth. I was on a panel today talking about that. Dude came up and was like, why can't you guys just allow, for people to talk? Just let them talk and just let them say what they need to say. And, so what if there's evidence to show that the slave trade didn't happen? That's a healthy debate. And I'm like, we can debate about, which football team is better, right? But I ain't debating factual shit.
Right, because it's like it's feeding the anti-intellectualism, T. Like
Exactly.
that's the part that I hate. Like y'all want us to sit here, like we know better, but you want me to sit here and entertain an argument that says that we don't. But you want me not to laugh this man off the panel?
Yeah, I mean, my thing about it is like, and he said, "Oh, but we did, but we've got evidence to prove that it didn't, and you have evidence to prove it did." And I said, first of all, this is not a debate. I don't debate. I get debates. I understand them, and debates are healthy, right? But I'm not going to debate, I'm saying, the degree of a right angle of a triangle or some shit.
Hell,
I don't debate that. That's a fact.
It's been proven.
That's proven.
Oh, so let me tell you what I do with that because I do be spamming and I want to debate even if it's something like that. But the only reason why is because I studied the people who come before us. And John Henry Clark said, I don't what he said, I only debate my equals, everyone else I teach. But this is what I realized. We got to get these people in the classroom. And if the debate is the way to do that by stirring them up, making them rowdy, making it feel like it's some competitions, that way it's some entertainment behind these people because that's what they used to. These people ain't nothing that different from the damn motherfuckers in the Coliseum. They want to see blood. So that's why I say I just try to push that because I'm like, why not? Let's talk about it. From what I see, it's the healthiest thing. If we're not going to do that, like if everybody want this charismatic leader, right? If they want to do that, then why not just say let it be Neil deGrasse Tyson? if he was more than physicist, right? Why just not say why just not go on the person who's most reliable and expertise in that subject? Now, how do we find who that is? Everybody just can't get online and just say, "Oh yeah, hey, this is what I believe and this is my interpretation," and everybody fall for it because he tall, dark, and handsome. And that's not right. It gotta be the people who can debate, who can substantiate, and that gotta be the new norm. And we got to promote this. And then, like you said, shame these other people. Because when I'm acting like I'm having a debate with these people, I'm giving the information while simultaneously like patronizing them and roasting them. And that's all. It's gonna all be important because that's how people kind of learn. But the echo chambers to me, that shit is so disgusting.
Well, I mean, for me personally, though, speaking, Dundada, I don't necessarily do. I approach things. I'm a lecturer, right? Other people are debaters. I'm a lecturer. The way I approach things is I present information. Do with it what you must. You know what I'm saying? I try to put it in a way that makes sense, that makes, goes in chronological order and makes sense to people. At least try to break it down to where you can understand, you know. I learn, I'm a visual learner, so I'm always using maps, graphs, pictures, whatever I can to kind of get people to, okay, I'm talking about it, but can you see it now? So we all have our methodologies on here. You know what I'm saying? And that's a healthy thing to have. Everybody learns in a myriad of ways. So it's important to have different audiences for different things, right? So I can't knock what other people do necessarily, but for me, I think at nauseum, man, and this is definitely goes to you. You have the patience to deal with it. I fucking don't. I want to ninja kick somebody in the chest every time they tell me the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen. I'm sorry. I really do. I want to beat them with a machete. It's getting to that point now.
Yeah, I
It's
get
coming
you.
up here. Oh shit. Yeah. So what I'll say today. Okay. So let's look at the scientific method, right? So you give a lecture. You give a
Hmm.
lecture. Somebody, one of your peers, they critique your lecture. This is really just all it is. It's not like I say. I think we have this correlation when it comes to debate. As like it got to be something negative. It got to be like a versus. And I understand it does kind of have that because you win a debate. The win makes it feel like it was a challenge and all that stuff. But yeah, I do agree with you. There is different approaches, but I just think that has to always be able to be on the table because a lot of the people that I clip, they think they lecturing. You know what I'm saying? they think they finna get off. And it's like, and I'm not conflating, of course. I look at you like an expert in any field you're gonna talk about, so it's not the same. But that's what some of these people think. So if I clip the video and say, hey, I'm gonna critique this, I see the error here, yada yada, and then you would likely respond to it, or you don't. And then, but either way, like how you said, the information is out there. They do what they will with it, and so on and so on. But I look at it like this: if somebody said, like, if I'm just a novice, because that's how I know a lot of these people are. If I look at it like, well, I said it before, when you was on there, where one of them pseudo ladies was up on there, I'm going to listen to the person who can explain and reference more sources and pretty much just convey their point, opposed to the person who can't. And I think like when we don't have, if it ever like comes to the point where people have those opposing views and they're addressed or not addressed, I just think that's going to speak volumes, and I think that should be promoted more than anything. Because like if not, then we finna be dealing with Dr. Umar and what is it, DAFA for the next 2 years? Is that what the one?
But I get you, Dundada, and like I said, everybody got their approach. My thing is, you know what I'm saying, when we got situations where people are, I don't know, just belligerent. You understand me? I don't mind talking to people who are, can concede here and there, or have a modicum of decorum. You know what I'm saying? But oftentimes, for at least that particular crew, they think winning a debate is literally who's the loudest and who can hurl the most insults. So to me, it's like, where's the scholarship? And then it's also about triggering people, right? So then you going off topic because you done left the scholarship to go start hurling insults back and forth with somebody. I don't, like I said, I don't mind doing like a debate. You understand what I'm saying? But when it reduces to that, it becomes counterproductive in a way, right? If it's a situation where people can exchange, and go back and forth, present something, and then the next person presents something to counteract that, then that's fine. But it's gonna be, I'm gonna be showing you, the Dolmans Act, and the next thing I know, yeah, take this bitch, okay, bitch ass bitch, who the fuck? That's when it reduces to that. It's like, yo,
Even that too, I use that. Because it does do that. But even if like what I'm talking about, a formal debate, that would not happen. That would be automatic disqualification. That's what I want. But even when those situations happen, expose it. It's so many times that I just expose what you described just in real time, just to give. Like I said, we be doing this for the chat. The chat can see this. These people we talking to, we know that they fried. So oftentimes it's not to convince them, it's to convince the listeners. Y'all forgive me, I'm a little stuffed up. It's to convince the listeners, for these people to discern, to see the contrast, because like I feel like there was never just a general contrast for this misinformation. I told her in the what I told y'all you do the what I said in the chat. I say people don't even know it's people like us that exist out here, bro. They so stuck in fairy pseudo land, they don't even know it's critical thinkers out here pushing back on all of the misinformations, on all of the lies, and still building. I promise you, they don't know. They be finding me. They be like, oh shit, this is different. I want you to talk to. You should meet Dan Calloway. Like, bro.
nah, nigga.
So yeah, but no, yeah. Everybody does how they approach it, and they own like their own gifts, their own nuance, their own like tactic. I implore everybody to get off, because just like how I know whenever I see like Tika time
Mhm.
we on a panel with him, but that's how it sounds.
Yeah, I get you. I get you, and I feel that. I understand it. It's that like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I don't have the patience for it. I'm
Yeah,
trying to, but like, my patience be wearing thin.
yeah,
Hold on
y'all
a
do be.
second, bro.
We do be, it be so funny. We do be getting riled up. I say we because I know you talking about you, but we all see where our patience meets its end with a lot of these people. We've all been there. I don't think nobody's exempt. It's just like it hits in moves because it's like sometimes I'll just be just in my deep studies, and I'll be thinking about like the ancestors that made it to where we could be alive, and just how these people, and I might be on one that day. Or I may just have read some studies where I was like, well, damn, we did go through this. I may feel sympathetic towards them. So it just depends on probably whatever I've been doing earlier that day. But I know that day when I start stepping on everything, I don't know why. I think I was hangry, y'all. I could be hangry and do that sometimes. Being hangry is a real thing. Yeah, being hangry is a real thing, y'all. So make sure y'all eat your meals.
Yes. Yo. Hey, I think one thing for sure though, we definitely got to keep
cool. I was like, yeah, but I didn't know she had said something. I was like, come up there on that time and it's like, of course, it's not for nothing. People specifying what they lives about. Everybody's allowed to that. This not my app. It's not our app. We don't run shit on this bitch. But I do feel like I try to present that energy anyway, because it has to be some type of, like I say, the authoritative like voice on this shit. And if somebody's saying something wrong, like I be seeing some people lives, y'all. And I can't even tell you the live to name names to be messy. But I be just listening to the misinformation just stack up, stack up, and stack up. It's like, fuck that, bro. Shame them people, correct them real quick and swiftly. You keep on moving on, give them 3 strikes and just send them to pseudo hell. That's another thing. Pseudo hell don't exist in a lot of these lives. And that's a bad thing, because it's like after I got rid of the pseudo hell, it's like I start getting like it's a whole bunch of people who subscribe to, after I start doing pseudo hell, I start seeing it's a whole bunch of people who subscribe to this. It's not just the Dallas Amaros and the Queef Naturals and the Earth Queefs and all of these like same little bitty minions we be dealing with. There's a whole bunch of people to reach. Like even though like America's Blood, he's like great content to like rip up and just show like, yeah, this is your brain on pseudo. Actually I might just keep him around just for shit like that. But they all are like this. And I say it's so many pseudos in the sea that, we don't have to save any of them. And like, I don't know. I feel like it validates them when we keep them around more than anything. So get rid of that ass. But I was really trying to say, press issue, man, get rid of his ass, man. If I see somebody and they block and I go to their shit and say unblock, I'm like, yeah, I can already tell. And I'm not being weird. I just noticed like when these people they're not mentally right. They're not mentally sane in the head. We telling these people 1 + 1 is 2. They still on some other shit and it take too long. Fuck them. I hate to be. Is that rude? Fuck them. No, they don't get it. They wasting time. And it's like, that's another thing I was supposed to say this on a live. That's a good thing about these conversations too, is we could just weed out the psych patients. We just weed out, okay, yeah, we do got a lot of psych patients. I'm not saying like just leave y'all burnt up, but this is the reason why we do need to get some type of form of reparations, because we need help mentally. I'm not even trying to make fun of people. This is very prominent in our community. Like I tell you, in my culture, in my family alone, like I've counted out, like I'm talking about my auntie today. Talking about my shit's crazy, bro. But this shit exists, and it's not our fault. It's not our own doing. It's a part of what they did to our ancestors, and it still resides. Like they don't want to even do no science on it. This is how you know it exists. They got the studies from the people from the Holocaust. They got evidence in them having post-traumatic disorder. The fuck you think happened to us? We went through centuries of the shit. Still, like I'm talking about, even after, still going through the shit currently until they address the shit. They still pushing the shit. Right now, they suppressing lives that's trying to like motivate and advocate for the black voice, and they pushing these white nationalist talking points, even within our culture. So yeah, I don't know. The main thing I be saying, let's have a discussion. When we have these discussions, we're gonna be looking at the information. We're gonna be learning. You can't learn in the echo chamber. Everybody got their screens off. Don't get me wrong, you can if you go cross-reference, but these people lazy. We know that they lazy. We know that the reading levels. We know the comprehension skills ain't there. So, that's why I like that. I like somebody said, somebody had said, I took it and said, you the pseudo whisperer. I said, yeah, I like that. We gotta be able to get across to these people. For real. But yeah, Mello, you heard me. I said I got a clip out of Judah though.
You got a clip out of who?
The guy who Judah, I finally chopped it over with him.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Carolina was in there. She recorded so whenever she sent it to me, I'm gonna make some clips of it and put it on YouTube. But that shit was, like I say, when we have the discussions, people OHF articulated it well in the comments. He said we created a visual contrast. Yeah, here we go. He said we have to create a visual contrast with them and us, and I think it's there. I'm up on there. I'm talking to you, bro. You should not be stuttering and stammering if you're a prophet. You should be popping it. But instead, all the information just pond and top. You don't know what to do with it. You never heard it. You gotta go. People need to see this over and over and over and over. Not like that. They said they already been debunking them left and right. Yeah, you don't need to have no authority, not you don't even need to have no confidence to come up on these people platform and go live and try to spew this misinformation. Young Pharaoh still coming up on here. Yeah, man, play some music and play video games. Don't talk about nothing. Have fun, dance, sing. Don't come up on here spreading information. If nobody's checking it, I feel like a coward. Because we know what it does. We know how we got here. This just didn't spawn overnight. This took 5 years in the making. The FBA's was like 5 years in the making to where they just now becoming a fucking itch in my ass. Jen Demo, appreciate you coming up here, brother. You want to tap in on this conversation with us? You can reference this backdrop if you want to, too.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I don't usually come up. I've been kind of just kicking back. I don't know if you remember, but like months ago I came up and initially the whole FBA thing, when I kind of looked at it, I was curious, and then once I checked it out, I was very disappointed, like real fast. But I think where the rest of us are missing the boat, I feel like it's not like you're talking to an equal. It's more like you're talking to your kids, right? It's more like FBA is like the little badass offspring of Pan-Africanism, right? They all had uncles. We've all had family. Like, I'm an older guy, so I grew up, with the uncles with dashikis and beanies, and everybody was talking the African talk, and everybody was waiting for Africa to come together and unite. And then it just kind of died and it went wherever. I really honestly feel like, I don't want to insult people, but it's almost like when a low IQ person gets a hold of, I heard a guy tell me one time, knowledge without wisdom and understanding is dangerous, right? So I feel like they're being flooded with information, right? Even when I started doing my own genealogy, right? So I see, okay, third great grandfather comes in on a slave ship, but not from Africa, from Jamaica. They got him labeled as a Creole and this, that, there, and the other. So there's enough things there for a low IQ person with, the changes in from Negro to Black and all these other things. I think it's enough for them to look at. And I remember I have a business and I was being sued one time, and I remember my lawyer telling the guy, it's like you threw a bunch of dots on a wall and you drew whatever picture you want, right? So I feel like they take all these bits of information, they already got a preconceived notion, yeah, I'm a native, or I've been reclassified, or whatever the damn story is, right? So for example, Creole, if you do a little digging, Creole simply meant that you were born in Jamaica. Didn't even mean you were mixed. If you were an African slave on the island of Jamaica and you had a child, that child would be considered Creole. I mean, based on what I looked up. In most cases, it was mixed people, right? But it's enough for somebody who is not a critical thinker to look at that and come to some dumbass conclusion. Like, it really is. And the more you look at it and the more you put yourself, like, we got to be empathetic a little bit. I don't know, it may be too late, but I feel like instead of shutting them down, right, it's like talking to one of your kids. It's like talking to like an 18, 19-year-old who just learned some shit and he knows every damn thing and there's really nothing you can say to him. Anyway, that's kind of my take on it. As somebody who's not a regular panel dude or is not a scholar or looking into it, the attack that happens, you're one of the few panels where I would even feel comfortable coming up on. But what I notice is the negative stuff. I work in advertising and negative sales. I had a client, a publishing client, they came out with an ad a campaign called The End of America. It was their biggest campaign ever. It was about how the dollar was going to fall and all this other shit was going to happen. Then they came out with one called The Restoration of America. Nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to buy it. Nobody wanted to deal with it. You see right now, you have a very good, organized adult live. You got 30 people in it. It's a bunch of ignorance going on, I guarantee you, with 200, 300, 400, however many people in it right now, because people are drawn to it. And I don't think necessarily, particularly guys like you who clearly studies, who's clearly mature, should really, it's almost like lowering yourself, bro. Like to even engage sometimes. That's just my opinion.
No, you're right. And then, I mean, everything you said was right, especially like the last part. It's synonymous with what you were saying. I do have to lower myself, but that's to go to what you speak to. We're talking to children. We
Yeah.
talking to children, so we have to kind of like speak their language, and that's why it's like the fun part for me is when I'm able to, because we trying to look for the fun part in it. The fun part for me is when I'm able to amalgamate all my skill set, so I'm able to talk down to these people, but still convey them with information that maybe you had to pass the ninth grade to understand, and I know a lot of them got stuck a little bit before that. So even like what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to roast them while still giving the information. And just doing
Yeah,
all
no, I
that.
like that about that. And that's why he said the pseudo whisperer was, I thought that was a good name for you because you have to be able to be open for dialogue. Because what they really remind me of are like poor YTs who are frustrated and need to blame something else. Or if you look at the history of Germany, how he rose to power, right? The mustache guy rose to power because there was a lot of frustrated, broke people and they needed somebody to blame it on, right? To blame their wretched lives on. And I just, like I say, I don't want to be judgmental, but when you listen to the way some of these people talk, I had a guy told me, man, most people doing better than you won't down you.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Somebody who works out in the gym all the time won't laugh at a chubby dude getting in the gym and trying to make something happen. Right? I used to box when I was a kid. I got waxed one time and the trainer came over and talked to me. He said, there's nobody who ever got in the ring who's gonna down you for what you did. Your friends might be out. I mean, it was at the festival, Juneteenth festival.
Right.
My family used to was a big part of bringing the Juneteenth festival to Buffalo. So like, it was my first fight where I had like the whole neighborhood out there, and I got waxed by some Spanish dude, like waxed pretty bad. And everybody who make jokes about you has never stepped in a ring.
You know what
Right.
is boxers respect boxers.
Yeah, you know what it take to get in there? Like, listen, man, not to go off topic. It's one thing to lose a basketball game. It's one thing to lose a football game. But boxing is another man handing it to you,
One on one.
right? Dominating you in front of everybody if it don't go right. You getting knocked out by another man. That's different from losing a football game.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right though. I mean that matters a lot, bro. That respect, that camaraderie. I see just Shakur just got through saying it. He said, because everybody be trying to sound like people scared. He shut that down. He said, man, I don't think nobody's scared. We all fighters. Like, how can you think a boxer is gonna be scared of another boxer?
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Now you might be a little more leery if you're going into one dude or other, but everybody that box really think they the man.
Yeah.
If you done already made it to that level, right, where you on TV fighting, you the man, no matter who you going against.
That's so funny watching the conference. You be like, damn, everybody think they gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They not playing up there. They're not trying to sell the fight. They really believe in themselves. So I forgot. I like boxing, so I got veered off. What was you talking about?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, man, I think there are a lot of frustrated people. I think there are people that are kind of frustrated with their lives. Just a lot of new information that folks are getting. And I think they're having I don't want to say like the young ones, I don't really blame them, but there's older ones in that movement that know better, right? Like it's older cats that know better, right? Like our stories matter too. The stories of our great grandparents that, some of us didn't talk about slavery, but why would you? Right. And they always say, and here's a quick point. They always say that the word African wasn't even used, right? I grew up in a African Methodist Episcopal church, AME church. That church was founded over 150 years ago. So why would they call that church African Methodist Episcopal Church? Right? I can tell you a whole history of it. Richard Allen got tired of being in the back of the church and whatever, not being able to worship the way they wanted to. So he galvanized the black community. They started their own Methodist church and called it the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the AME church. It's probably the biggest black church in the country. Why would they call that the African Methodist Episcopal Church if they weren't African? It just, You know, but you can't. How you gonna argue with somebody who don't believe in DNA, dude?
It's like you said, they want the everything is called escapisms, and this is why I push back on it too. It's not that I don't care for people just to have their own beliefs and do their own thing. They free to do what they want to do. I'm trying to help these people. It's like you ever gave $1 to somebody on the street, it's the same thing. The escapisms, what do you think they are? Do you think the escapism is ever going to end and get better? No, they're cyclical. It's just a domino effect of more bullshit and more bullshit. I be hearing so much shit with my life. My FYP used to be super pseudo. I even had this one little spiritual girl trying to recruit other people to be homeless with her to do some Kabbalah shit in the woods. I don't know if that, but I probably like, hi, like, no, you need money. Like they try to do it, the corporation capitalization. You do need money to exist. Money's not fake.
But
All the
here's
time, they be saying time is not real.
here's the thing, though, dude. My issue with them is that people want it both ways now. It's like I told one of my sons, like, look, if you want to meditate and go in the woods and live in a little whatever with a little hippie girlfriend, that's fine, brother. But don't expect to live the lifestyle and have the things that people who embrace capitalism or are working their ass off in this system have. Right? Like you can't compare Colin Kaepernick to old boy that threw his fists up in the 60s because Colin Kaepernick got a check after he did it. Dude got banned for life and everything when he did it. Not to say that's not to put Kaepernick down, but you can't compare the two. And all that means to say is like activists, they want to live fly now, right? Like they want and then what happens is they want to live on this side and be resentful of what they don't have and resentful towards those of us who got a couple shekels that could be gone in any minute, you know. And they don't. And one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, dude, poor people. Broke people are the most selfish people in the world because they don't have the ability to see other people's problems because their problems are so great. You can't be empathetic when you don't know how you're gonna pay your rent.
Oh,
I don't mean that in a bad way to put them down, bro. But you think somebody who is struggling to keep their lights on can relate or is even empathetic to somebody with a $40,000 tax bill that he don't really know how he gonna have the cash to get it, and he got to make a move or do this and do that.
that motherfucker self-preservation gonna start kicking in.
Yeah, they got no they got no clue. So you got to be patient with people like that, bro. Like that's all I'm so. But I do commend you, dude, because whatever happens, there has to be voices out here saying these ignorant niggas don't speak for us.
Right.
Like
Right.
if nothing more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I went up in there and said that exact same thing a couple times. I was in one of the dudes live. I was trying to get off, but dang, he had me waiting over there a long time. Shaka was over there too. Olo Watt, whatever the dude name, and I was finna flame his ass too. Damn, what's Shaka? What's that dude name who live? We was there. You was like, I'm just waiting on bro to cook. I'm telling you, because that's what my new thing is. I'm trying to cook all of these hosts over here running these half-ass lives. Like I run some shit. I was gonna go over there. I was gonna tell them because I was taking notes and everything. I said, man, a lot of these motherfuckers over here running these goddamn Jerry Springer shows, and they think that shit cool, and they think I'm finna stand for that shit. Now I'm finna say something about all this shit, and my presence gonna be everywhere. Something somebody has said. It was regarding somebody live. I'm not gonna put them down in front of y'all and be messy, but it was regarding somebody live that I don't fuck with, and we was talking about them earlier. Actually, yeah, on Think Live. That's who we was talking about earlier. So now we don't fuck with them, and they found this out on their own time, separate from me. I found out earlier. I had a personal encounter with them, but yeah, now they found out too. Now they don't fuck with them. And I've been talking like, bro, I don't like trying to say like it's a discernment or nothing, but people show you their ways. We just gotta understand what it is. But yeah. Having motherfucking cool shows, they get more caught up into like shit that I never talk about. We never care about. I never care about views. Y'all don't ever hear me promoting a live, saying repost a live, share the live, tap the screen. I'm never on that type of shit. I'm never on no gift shit, no cash app shit. And a lot of people get caught up into that shit. And that can anytime we see that shit, as far as like in the culture, especially like we trying to look at leaders, that gotta be something we notice. We gotta notice that part. Like, oh yeah, you trying to grift. I'm looking at fucking Tariq Nasheed having a fucking gift off with these bitches. He loves surprising people with how fast he gonna beat them in these battles with all these people gifting him money. That's how he get off. Let me know some information these niggas is dropping. let me know when they drop information live. As soon as they do, I'm clipping it because it got to be misinformation, which I have. I say, unless we address this shit, but people weird, people basically like everything in romanticism, emotionalism, and they'll hear motherfucker, and they whatever it is about them that they don't like or dislike or they heard about them, they gonna side with that because a lot of it's based on what people heard first. So I'm trying to correct a lot of shit that's been here for decades now. It's gonna be a task, but I ain't gonna lie. Like I had a day. I think I posted the live. I had a good day with the pseudos, and I was like, oh yeah, I liked it this day. I was having fun with them, because I wasn't letting them get to me, and that's the thing. I think when it comes to being not being patient, we let them get to us, and just approach it with that mindset, like, yeah, this is fun. You know what I'm saying? Like go in there, back to the box, really hit the bag a little bit. But that's kind of why I got these people stop doing shit to where we can educate ourselves. They stop bringing up sources. They just started being content with we crazy. We just gonna say anything and stand on it. And that's when it's like, okay, so now we know we talking down to these people. What's the best way to do that? What's the best way to get a child to change his mind? So once again, we adults, we can't speak from adults. Kids don't listen to their parents. Who the kids listen to? They listen to other kids. So I bring myself down to my 5th grade mindset when I was a young daughter in school, and I think about how that little girl roasted me for having on Echo and the Nietzsche at the same time. And I said, damn, I gotta wear Echo now? The Nietzsche on the Nietzsche? And I was like, okay. So just that fast, I switched up with it. Biggie said it. He said, let me see the tag on your shirt. So I roast these people. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting at. I roast them, I troll them, we shame them, we making fun of them, we letting them know they're funny, we laughing at them, pointing our fingers at them, all in their face. That will work. It works. The information, heavy sources, that shit not gonna work. Do that in the midst of it to let the people know. Somebody had said it in one of the lives I was in. They was like, the $9, you got to show some sources too, nigga. You just don't get to get up there and talk shit. I said, you just don't know. I got 4 sources loaded up on these people. I'm not just for the chat. You know what I'm saying? So everything simultaneously. The only thing is, like how you said, that people are attracted to that. I do think that the misinformation does like gets the people's attention, but that's why I say the smartest thing they could ever did was stay away from me, to block me. I'm still finding out people that got me blocked to this day, because if I'm not in their algorithm, if I can't push back on none of the shit they saying, if none of the people that follow them knowing it's a person like me that got pushed back for their talking points, then they just gonna be falling victim to it. So that's why I like now, like following more people. Like I talk about with Red, going into these other lives, having discussions. Yeah, man, shit, ain't gonna do that but make it better for us. But I just had to start this one because I was taken aback. You just can't just mute me, have me in your live for 40 minutes, mute me, think I ain't finna come up on here and say nothing about it. Y'all was crazy. That was crazy. But still, the highlight of my day was y'all do this, so y'all gonna be looking forward to that. I'm gonna let y'all know when I post all that. But I gotta take a nap right now, y'all. I gotta take a nap. But anything I want to say before we get up out of here, Mellow Joe Sleep?
Shit. Stay black.
Yeah. Screw these
Stay black.
pretending, bruh. FBA, bruh. They can all go to hell, bruh. Yeah, I mean, I'll holler at you later, bro.
Yeah, whole time. None of them people in this backdrop came up too. So yeah, none of them. And they exist. They just don't come over here. All right, y'all. Peace, man. Holla at y'all boys.